making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
I was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? All alone. Your eyes match the weather, raining under pressure. Oh, you say you wanna go, yeah. So let's get away from here. Let's get away from here.
broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. We'll feel some type of way.
Hey, everybody. Hello and welcome to the grid. It's Alpine Esports coming at you live. It's F. Dot and it's Turtle. And it's what? Thursday. How's it going?
That's right.
Man?
How's it going, dude? You looking cute as usual. You know, there hasn't been a week where you don't come out and you're looking beautiful. I'm excited. We got a relatively different and confusing bracket, but I think this is the week, man. This is the week. We say it every time, but this is the difference. This is where everything changes. Okay.
You say it every week. This week is week number 6, and honestly, it's been up and down for the Alpine guys, which is fitting because, I mean, you know, Alpine mountains, peaks and valleys, et cetera, et cetera. Last week, not one, definitely a fun one to watch, but perhaps not as far as the guys would have liked to go on in the bracket. This week could be different, but first, we learn from the past. Week 5, the grid. Let's take a look. Yo, what's good? Hello and welcome. It is week number 5 here on the grid. It's your boy F. Dot, joined here by the one and only Turtle. Obviously, your 3 favorite players are going to be taking the field today. It's Majicbear, George, and Percy. And they'll be going head-to-head against some of the most storied players in all of Rocket League.
Oh, yeah.
It's about the unification of chat. That's how you give your energy to the people. Sort of like Captain Planet, right? With your powers combined, you are Captain Alpine. Percy, getting it done.
How did that work? I thought I'm amazed. That was beautiful.
They got stepped on. But seeing them go like that, energy, big picture, is a big deal.
Oh!
How is that?
Oh my God. experience like that as a player, especially against NRG.
You're just not. I mean, that's the thing.
Dying.
5 weeks of competition. Turtle still can't cat jam correctly, but we'll see if the guys can pick it up here and see if they can play correctly. You all right over there, Turtle?
Dude, I love how perfect the music was to the cat jams in chat. Doomsy is just a legend. I don't know what it is about his video editing. It's unique. It looks good. It's so clean. I love Doomsy and cat jams.
It's sick. It's sick. And the cat jam. Shout out to Beckwin out there. Big cat jam fan.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to see the cat jam, and we can only jam if we score. And that's what we're hoping for this week on the grid as we take a look at our schedule. The big bracket. Space Station Gaming is on our side of the bracket, but we won't have to run into them first and foremost. SSG will be playing up against Charlotte Phoenix, and then we, Alpine, will be versing Rogue Esports. Later on, of course, there are other people on the bracket. G2 will go head-to-head versus Plot Twist, and PK will go up against Alpha Cap and Xset.
Yes, sir.
So an interesting one for sure here as we drill down into the Rogue Alpine matchup, Turtle. I mean, this is the one that I think is within grasp.
Yeah, I mean, we're in groups A and B, and I feel like you don't want to be in the upper half, which is where we are. The lower half, I see G2, and that's all about it, really. We're going to be going up against Rogue, and we've got a difficult matchup. If we win this, we will go up against SSG as well, get the rematch we've all wanted to see. And you got to be cautious of First Killer mostly on the field because he's a beast.
Yeah, First Killer is the guy that everybody looks at. You know, me being Mr. Rival Series from last year, Turnturo and Kronovi, definitely a big part of what allows First Killer to kind of be this player here. Kronovi and Turnturo definitely impressed a lot of people last year in the Rival Series, and it makes sense to see them on the blue. I guess Rogue is just the color blue on the blue team. Whereas Alpine Esports, Jordan, Percy, Majicbear, you know, these guys are viewed as the up and comers. And don't get me wrong, that's not a euphemism for a bad team. Everybody looks at this team and goes, yeah, they're like tomorrow's superstars for sure. But how do we turn tomorrow into today? It's by beating a team like Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are the perfect matchup for us because they are just one little step above us. You know, I think we talk about a lot about our rivals. We got Xset. We've got even sometimes the Peeps, depending on how they're performing. Sonics are kind of in our bracket now. Plot Twist, Xset. All those teams are, I'd say, similar to us in Alpine right now. But we've been doing so well against every single matchup when we go up against somebody in our league. You know what I mean? If we go up against the Knights, usually perform well. If we go up against Xset, we've been beating them consistently. So Rogue, they're just one level above us. This is such an important matchup, not just for obviously today in the grid, but I think for our confidence, knowing that, okay, we can beat the next level teams to progress all the way until we get to NRG status.
Yeah, you know, earlier you made like kind of a great allusion to Pokemon and how these guys are like gym leaders here.
That's
you
right.
know, and we're here to kind of grab the badge and move on forward. So I'm excited to kind of see how this one all works out. You guys can, of course, grab some merch at home, !point merch in the chat, and then I'll get you access to all the stuff that your friends wear, your Turtle wears, and dude, I mean, hell, even I'm rocking it today. You know, I got the hoodie on.
Can you get? I would sleep in this shirt, but I don't really want to ruin it. That's the only thing. I'm a little bit scared of maybe getting. I also smell really bad when I sleep. I know it's a little bit personal, but that's the last thing you want to do in your Alpine merch. Okay, you got to make sure it's crisp, it's polished for the grid. Okay, and you mentioned it too. You were talking about the Pokemon reference. You didn't even mention the Elite Four. Okay, that was like the banging part of the whole reference. Okay, the Elite Four. So this is what I'm saying. Rogue is a gym leader. We got to beat them to get our gym badge to move on to the Elite Four, which is NRG, G2, Space Station, sometimes the Peeps, depending on their playing. And then we can get to that status, man.
Exactly. I see some Alpine fans in chat saying like it's a molehill, da da da. Da. But that's exactly the things that Rogue is. If you make like a power rankings off the rip, right? Rogue is going to be above Alpine, but not by much. And it's absolutely a team that Alpine can come through, kind of beat, and then completely just sun. And that's one of those worlds where Alpine, this is like you said, whether you get the badge, stripe on your shoulder, whatever analogy you want to use, Rogue is a team that Alpine kind of needs to beat to kind of solidify themselves in the scene and kind of tell people what's up.
Yeah, exactly. And all it takes is just denying First Killer. Okay, that man is a beast. I don't want to be on the field with First Killer because he is scary. The speed that he brings to the team for Rogue is immense. I mean, I think he's the guy who's creating opportunities and making plays. So if we can get in his face and deny him, I think that'd be great. Maybe we'll see a game 5. Last week, if you remember, I thought we saw so many game 5s, literally all 3 series that we played. Match. A game 5, okay? So our stamina was out the roof. I expect a little bit different of results here as we go into week 6.
We'll see. Yeah, like I said, the first match going to be versus Rogue. This is doable. And so we'll jump into the game here at number 1 off the top. And right away, we're on our side of the field. This is one of the big things that if you've been watching Alpine for a while, you'll see that me and Turtle kind of complain, I guess is the nice way to put it, about lack of offensive control. We're usually on our side of the field. But when things are going well, we flip the script. And so that, I think, is, I'm sure Miztik has deeper things to talk about, Turtle, but like, from what I've seen from my position, if I'm coaching, that's my number one concern is offensive possession.
Right. I mean, that's how you want to create opportunities. Nobody wants to sit back on defense. I think there's that common saying that everybody uses in soccer or football or whatever sport you're playing where it can go both ways. A good defense is a good offense, a good offense is a good defense. But I feel like in Rocket League, you have to have a good offense if you want to make it to the top. There is no defensive strategy, that's going to last multiple weeks in a row. But First Killer, I said you got to deny him. You got to get in his face and stop him from shooting on your net. And he punishes us here.
Right off the rip. This is so First Killer's a guy that you said that you have to look at and you have to kind of see work here. What is it about First Killer? How does he, we know how Alpine goes, right? We haven't really seen too much of Rogue here in our 6 weeks on the grid. Yeah. So what would you give us the quick and dirty? What's the scouting report look like on the blue?
It varies a little bit every single week. I think they're still trying to figure out their play style. First Killer, they're a big miss. That's something that we don't see often. But for me, I usually just see Rogue being very aggressive with First Killer leading the way. Cronovi and Turinturo kind of fill in the gaps in the midfield. Usually we'll have Cronovi be the most passive. He'll come in with some cleanup striking usually. And then Turret will go for some demos here and there. And you'll see them kind of being aggressive on offense while Crow is sitting back. So it's really that simple when it comes to how much they rely on First Killer with making those plays.
Crow is going to be the one to kind of chill out, like you were saying. So we got to keep our eyes on other players. That's kind of what Turtle's bringing to the table. Percy tries to shove it in, but Turo's there. Turo is an interesting player over the top. So that was, woof.
Did we pinch this? I got to know. Did we get 2 forms of contact on the ball? I don't know. No, it was just Jordan with a banger. That looked like a pinch, did it not?
It did, and I think that's what Rogue was thinking as well. I think Rogue was kind of prepping for some sort of like absurd pinch because that looked like an easy block that Rogue went a little bit too hard for. So in retrospect, maybe that's what they were expecting. The old like that's the technical term.
But they didn't expect the passing either. Okay, Alpine. Okay, F-Dot, this is what you complain, and I complain about this all the time. It's the passing. Look at this. Look at that touch from Majicbear to Percy. That is beautiful.
So get in the mind of the players here, because that to me, so from the uninitiated, that looked like Majicbear puts it back into the corner, and Percy wasn't expecting it, but is just quick enough to change and find it. Or is that a pre-planned? Was that like Majicbear calling to Percy be in the position?
I think it was more of what you said the first time, is that it was kind of Percy's just thankfully in that situation. Obviously, the pass was a little bit organized and had planned it. Yeah. But with Rocket League and how it works, usually things and plays like that kind of just come out of thin air. Once you get the opportunity, that small window, you have to make sure you jump on it.
Because Percy looked like he was ready to like hit boost and go across the net.
Exactly.
and just had to go, oh, no, never mind. I'm going to shoot here, and winds up grabbing it. Percy gets the first block, but can't handle the second one. Majicbear a little bit too deep in net, and now we're 2-all at 2 minutes.
That was a cool shot, though, from Turo. If you saw the way he approached it, it looked like he was going to hit into the corner, but he stopped boosting right before he hit the ball and ended up just shooting it directly on net, and I don't think Percy expected it.
Not at all.
Oh, what?
Oh, and this is the type of game that I expected.
Somebody get Doomsy. Somebody get Doomsy, because this has got to make the highlight. Look at this. He dunks him and still lands on the backboard to follow it up. That's going in. That's a highlight right there.
Yeah, that was slick. That was handcrafted by Percy in the mountains of Alpine.
Wow.
You know, look at this one. Like, so I'm boys with Spaceman, the guy who does the Rogue stream, which is obviously worse in every single way compared to us, but a good stream nonetheless. That said, you know, he always talks about his team being really explosive, and they're just like, all their games are just exciting. And Alpine kind of does the same thing. Rare is it that we have a snooze fest. So coming up into this one, I expected kind of high action, and we're getting it here in game 1.
Yeah, some highlight plays. See, this is the type of play that will not force a game 5. And we continue this, we will not see a repeat of last week, because that's exhausting. I personally am not a big fan of players constantly having to go to game 5s, because you just get so tired on the pitch. While you might get a little bit warmed up here and there, it's exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, the players, you're just sitting there for such a long time, and you start talking about this Majicbear with a nice little chip shot with the insurance goal. 4-2 now.
Look at the read, too, Majicbear. He gets in front of the pass. That's 2 goals now back-to-back. The other one we saw, I think it was Percy who hit that nutty highlight play, was he dunked him. And we had to predict where Rogue are going to hit the ball. Again, we see Majicbear getting in that passing lane, so we're doing a good job of reading Rogue and where they're trying to hit the ball.
Majicbear brings it all the way down.
What are we doing with these highlights? Where did this come from?
I mean, it's just free play, dog. We just chilling. Like, that's what it looks like, straight up. Turo. And yo, you want to talk about being fun on offense? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alpine just like dropped the ball up in front, and they're like, "All right, man, who wants to? You guys want to shoot this? You guys want to put it in the net?" Like,
you said, that's what I thought, as if you're like talking smack to the Rogue players on the field.
I kind of was, bro.
That's good. That's good. This is the type of casting we always need.
You got the real New York coming out real quick. Well, the first I saw a video this morning of 50 Cent just handing out like $30,000 to Burger King employees.
What? Are you kidding me?
I'm all the way New Yorked up today. You got.
Bro, I'm about to go to Burger King right now. Are you kidding me?
You'll be the only one there. Chicken fries. Dumb, stupid nonsense. Game 1. Alpine Rogue. That's that, friends.
That's
on
light
game
work.
2.
It's light work for the boys right now. We don't even have to sweat when we're making highlight plays. Majicbear, the reads, Percy off the backboard. We even had the nice little give and go with Majicbear getting that little touch out, I think, to Percy again, who's been a beast with shooting.
Look at First Killer. You got Creamz, Rogue Esports, Turo.exe. First Killer. Like with his anime avatar.
Oh, you got a problem with anime now. Oh, is that it? Okay. So you're not you like when teams are all. I thought there are some images of you that I just can't get out of my brain. Like that's gonna be stuck until next week with you doing the anime peace sign pose. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, you know, you got to just be ready to be like, okay. So Rogue just out there losing,
and they do it in style. Okay, they had the anime profile pick. If you lose with an anime profile pick, it's not even an L. Because you already took an L earlier by having that as your profile pick. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
okay, you got there. You got there. You got there.
Slowly we made our way there. We got another 5-minute game. I'm excited. We got to get some highlights, okay? If we keep going with the mechanics that we've been showing up with, and the defense too, blocking out saves from Turo right there. Creamz getting stuffed. Not even close. That's what I thought.
See, this is where Rogue kind of gets a little bit scary.
Yeah.
When they get put behind the 8 ball, because this is the team that different teams get catalyzed by different things. You know, you were a player once. Like there are some things that get you going and make you like real, like lean. You know, get the gamer lean on, as opposed to like other things that your team. This team hates to lose, but like this team doesn't like to get stunned on the way Percy and the boys just did. So like, I'm expecting game 2 from Rogue to be real. Like,
yeah, I mean this is such an important game because. Not only if we go up 2-0, I mean, Alpine has been faced with a couple of different struggles. I feel like even last week we went up 2-0 a couple of times, and we ended up getting reverse swept or going to game 5. So I'd like to see us get put in a spot like that again and see if we can prevail, unlike last week. But also, I think Rogue, like you said, they have First Killer, who is he's a pretty feisty personality. The man obviously does not like to lose. Now, I think every pro doesn't like to lose, but when you talk about personalities, there's some of them who just get fueled off of even losing the first game.
Absolutely. Like I said, you know, it's kind of a nothing statement to be like, this team doesn't like to lose.
Yeah.
Just like, dude, you win for a living. Of course, nobody like. But there are some players, if you ask, one of my favorite questions to ask competitive players is, do you like winning or hate losing more? You know what I mean? Like there are some people who like to win but hate to lose, or love to win and just don't like to lose.
Yeah.
Which one are you, Turtle?
I'm definitely the guy who loves to win, and I'm like, I don't mind losing. Okay, I kind of take L's without any
every
second
day.
thought. Yeah, basically, I wake up and I automatically take an L just by existing. Okay, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. It's okay though.
Oh man, I don't even know where to take that one, so I'm just gonna leave it out there. But,
hey, you brought this upon yourself. You tried to get me to express my emotions now, and I'm just gonna start crying on screen. As Majicbear almost put that one in. We have some good shots.
So this is a criticism where we need no criticism, right? One game in the pocket and it's a dub, but 2:20 left, scoreless in game 2. I'm seeing a lot of really cool, but solo play. I'm seeing a lot of single man dribbles. I'm seeing a lot of double tap attempts.
That was the difference at the beginning of game 1, is that we had that little touch pass from Majicbear to Percy. Like this one here across. Where's Percy? He came in too late, and then Majicbear bumped him out, but then Jordan, please, the double tap. Does he have it? Off the crossbar. There it is, okay?
Hey!
I thought it developed. I was a little bit scared at first when Percy got bumped on Majicbear, but that pinch out to Jordan was nutty.
Yeah, that was a perfect example, you know, the not the goal, but that first sequence that we saw before the goal of kind of what I was talking about, where like Majicbear's, you know, flip, reset, just doing crazy stuff by himself, and like there weren't any teammates. And like I said, maybe much ado about nothing, complaining here while we have a winning record. But as we get deeper into the tournament, these are the things that are going to be more and more of a, you know, of an issue, so to speak.
Yeah. We almost just saw Creamz bang one into the top corner. The shots
nice match
from Rogue are coming out. And like you said, we got some good clears too. That's one thing I've been impressed the most about our defense so far in this first 2 games. We are always in the face of Rogue, and we're forcing them to use midfield shots. Like, look at First Killer. He has to go for a midfield shot there because of our defense. We're forcing him in an awkward situation. He can't go for a dribble because we're not giving him the space. He takes an early shot, and that means it's that much easier to get a save on.
I mean, that's really that teammate camaraderie. Teamwork, I believe, is a word. Oh,
what happened?
Luck happened.
How did he get this angle? Did it pinch off something, or did he get hit back into it from first?
He just slammed it down on the
Oh,
he just slammed it.
That was nice. That was nice. Okay.
He that's the Rocket League equivalent of like follow through. Where are my traditional sports players? Anybody like play basketball? You like follow through, kind of like unnecessarily, but it's that last bit of fundamental. If Creamz doesn't follow through that ball, that's not a goal.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you've got it. And I think there's a lot of people that might have just like let it go and kind of hope for the best, look for the boost in the corner. So, you know, real good fundamentals there from Creamz to tie it up.
I think it's.
Are we going to OT?
Dude, I don't want to. I don't want to go to OT. They're probably feeling confident now. That was the one boost they needed, was a little bit of a team pinch play. You also got some luck involved. I think that's one of the best morale boosting goals you can get. There's teammates involved. You've got a little bit of luck. The pinch went your way, and now you can move up on offense. We see Crow slow dribbles here and there. This is not looking good, but the save is there. Percy on the backboard, and now we clean it out. So I think we're going to OT.
Yeah, I think so. 10 seconds left on the clock, tied at 1, stuck and stagnant here in the middle.
What a pop.
A demo.
Jordan, come on. No!
I didn't even see the blue player there.
We had to
We're
get
here in
bumped. We
OT?
had to get bumped, bro, on the rotation back. I would have believed in the buzzer beater. The highlights we've been hitting today, okay? It slowed down a little bit in game 2, and now we don't get in front of the shot. That would have been deadly for first had it been on target. He did have the angle. We escaped with murder, and now defense looking scary. I thought I'm scared, bro.
Oh, I'm chilling.
You chilling?
I'm chilling. I'm telling you, you just got to be chilling.
Okay, okay.
You gotta
believe.
live the life of the cat jam, okay? You gotta live
Dude.
the life of the cat jam.
Where does that emo even like originate from? I've never even seen the actual video of it. It's so good.
I don't know, but that cat is jamming.
See, cats are beautiful because they can either be super scary or super friendly and amazing like that. You know, it's a coin flip.
I've never really been like a cat guy. I like dogs. You like dogs?
I'm sorry, dude. Just the way this conversation just developed into that is just amazing. We're in like an intense overtime, and we got to F that. Just I'm not that much of a cat guy, to be honest.
I mean, you like dogs. I like
But I threw you into that. I'm sorry. It's the cat jam was too distracting.
Jordan. But see, if we do wanna kind of bring it back here, we have been on Alpine's offensive side of the field for this entire OT. Just missed that opportunity. But this is kind of why I said like I was chilling, why I'm kind of like, you know, cat jamming out, because obviously the goal hasn't like gone in the bucket yet, right? We haven't done the thing, but the majority, I would say 90% of this overtime, we've been on the blue side of the field. We've been kind of doing things the right way. And when I see that sort of like, I call it popcorn offense, when you're just like shot, like you're just kind of, it's inevitable. Like at some point, one's going to go in. So
a mistake is going to come out.
Yeah, like I think that's the trap for the players. But as a fan or a commentator, I'm chilling.
Yeah. Well, it does feel like a different Alpine that we're seeing in Percy, the pre-jump save. That was crucial to keep us in this overtime. Our defense, we just have to hold up to 1 or 2 shots, then we move on. Like we're already getting out of our own end here.
Yep. See,
after getting hammered with just one beautiful shot from Rogue. So if we can hold on, then we're chilling, like you said.
And that's a big change from the bump. Oh, Krenovi showed up. That demo from Rogue was really, really big. The big thing that I saw last week in week number 5 was that we weren't getting nice shot game 2-0.
It's that
I want to bring it home here,
bro. Look at the counter. Look at the counterattack from our backboard to midfield off their backboard, and we got a follow-up. That is how you get it done, and you end the OT. I'm telling you, we brought NRG, I think, last week in game 2 or something to an 11-minute OT. If we can do that and still win against NRG, you know against Rogue, it's going to be light work.
I mean, teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh yeah,
we're seeing the players kind of share the ball, which is obviously what we're looking for. But this was the problem in my opinion, and I want to force that opinion word. Week number 5 was the fact that we were unable to find offensive control. We were entirely on ours. Either we scored 3 goals in 1 minute and nothing mattered, or we were on our side of the field the entire time. This time around, I think things are a little bit different because we're seeing that offensive prowess. We're keeping it on the opponent's side of the field, and it's a much different world.
Yeah, it seems like our focus has shifted from putting on a fantastic shot as much as possible to just keeping the pressure in the midfield, which is something that me and you preach about all the time is, if you can just hold that ball in the offense, take boost, not every shot has to be something that's 200 miles per hour. As long as you can keep the pressure, they will end up missing boost, or you steal their boost, they'll get in uncomfortable situations, and they will force the mistake on themselves because of your pressure, not just on the shot.
Exactly, just over and over again, and it's all connected. All of the Krenovi up the field, all these tenets are connected, you know, and that's why I was so comfortable when we were in overtime, you know, because like I said, the ability to keep the ball on the opponent's side of the field makes it an inevitability, and as long as you're able to make the transition, and again, I am overwhelmingly impressed with Creamz, the hard carry, but Miztik, the coach, because it seems like things go wrong in week, you know, X, and then the next week, whatever, there might be a new problem that has come up, but whatever was plaguing the team gets fixed, and I like that.
Well, I think this is one of the weeks that I might actually be most excited to talk to a player. Make sure you stick around to the end of the broadcast, because we always bring in somebody, whether it's Miztik, the coach, or a player from the roster. We can kind of tap into their minds and see what was different. And I'm curious to see how they've worked on this midfield possession, because look at it, it's so much better. We're keeping this energy here. Percy, even as the third man there, is so aggressive. And look at this ball. It's stuck in Rogue's half, which is everything that we needed to fix. And now we've got momentum under our feet. We're taking strides, bro. This is what I'm talking about. This is the Alpine that I think we deserved to, I guess, work to. We leveled up. You know, we talked about Pokemon earlier. Now we're just about to take the gym badge, and we're going to be on our way to the Elite Four.
That's the hope, you know, at the same time. You know a mechanic I never really liked? The whole Pokemon not listening to you if you don't have enough badges.
Oh, yeah. That, as if the Pokemon know if you have badges or not. Like, what does that even mean, bro?
Well, I mean, Pokemon are smart. They can tell.
I mean, I don't think they care about a badge, though. What are they going to be like? Nah, you don't have a badge, you're worthless to me. I won't listen to you.
Yeah, Charizard will not listen. Charizard will hurt himself in his confusion.
Dude, I remember that watching the show where Charizard wouldn't listen to Ash.
That was so sad.
Screaming. No, it wasn't even sad. It was annoying. I didn't want to watch those episodes. I was like, dude, what is the point? It's like watching like an edgy teenager in here. Okay?
Right?
Unacceptable.
We got to hope that doesn't happen to our players here.
Oh, that'll never happen. Look at the pass. How can it happen with our passing? So
come on.
Clean.
First killer getting in front of it. You see, so that was sort of a communication breakdown. All three players on Alpine started going into the same direction. You saw Percy like had to hard brake and turn around. That's just kind of like, I think that's the result of players just sort of defaulting and just like letting it come and not really talking to each other. I imagine they're like
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
how did that not go in? Turo got the demo. The smoke screen might have messed him up, dude. But we got away with it.
Nah, I'm chilling.
Absolutely no worries.
See, that's a different chilling. That's one that it got so close, you got a haircut. You're just like, all right, well, luck's on my side today.
I would be so mad if I was on Rogue. Are you kidding me? That is so frustrating.
I again, shout out to my man Spaceman who's handling the Rogue stream, and I know he's yelling. Yo, last week he spent 5 minutes just talking smack about his own team.
Oh my God.
He's like, Rogue can't do this, Rogue can't do that. So after that one, yeah, Spaceman's in a furry.
Coach Spaceman coming out. Maybe he's been saying something to First Killer. He almost gets the double tap. That would have been deadly. That's what I'm talking about. I think First Killer has the skill right now, even in this game, to change the tides of this battle, because with just the solo play abilities from him, he can make this a 1-0 game for Rogue if we don't stop him. Oh, the pass. Okay.
Turo also, I think, is Turo was one of my favorite players to watch in the Rival Series last year. Like, maybe not the best player. I think Wonder Mike probably steals that one pretty easily. Honestly, maybe a member of Alpine, but like Turo is a very creative player and like makes his teammates play better around him. I think it's really kind of interesting to watch him kind of do his thing. One more shot, nope, OT.
Well, it seems like Turo likes to help create space for his teammates, whether it's demos or just giving them space. I don't usually see him be too annoying, like in the way that he'll just take a ball away from his teammate, which I'll see sometimes. First Killer, he likes getting in the way. And there it is! There it is, Percy! Who got this pass out? Can we give credit to Jordan, though? Doing it all himself. Does he even need help? No, he doesn't.
Man.
Wow.
Smooth stuff, right on time. You could say he was punctual.
Let's go.
What's another word for punctual?
On time. Let's go. Let's go. He was punctual indeed. And last week, I'm telling you, we would have seen a game 5 out of this. Alpine have finally closed out a series with a 3-0. We went to 3 game 5s last week. Everything was getting so frustratingly long because we'd get the first 2 games and we'd end up changing our playstyle a little bit. We wouldn't adapt to them changing up as well. Things were just all over. This time, we keep it very calm, very collected. Jordan gets a clutch play with the 50 in the corner, and that's all it takes.
Insane. I mean, you absolutely love to see it. Well, I guess Rogue don't, but Alpine does. 3-0 in the direction of the green and yellow. And, everything's kind of going nuts. Our next opponent will be Space Station or Charlotte Phoenix. And I just want to say they're 3 games in. Charlotte Phoenix lead 2-1. What?
Wow. What is happening? I have no idea. Everything has gotten flipped upside down. I wouldn't say that this Rogue matchup necessarily is an upset. We even talked about it earlier, F-Dot. I think this was a huge step for Alpine in general because Rogue isn't a team that's like Space Station. It's so, miles and miles ahead, it feels like, in terms of mechanical skill and also the teamwork. It's one of those teams that, like you said, you would have placed Rogue above Alpine going into this matchup. But now we take the win, a clean 3-0. You got to start reevaluating where you place Alpine Esports as a team.
Exactly. Like Rogue and Alpine would be relatively close, but Rogue like maybe a step or 2 ahead. And I definitely anticipated Alpine winning this one, but I anticipated it kind of like 4 games. I anticipated them a little bit closer. I anticipated game 1 to look more like game 2 and 3, where it's just like 1 or 2 goals kind of separate, and just seeing bam, 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 Alpine come out over and over and over again. 3-0 here. We're pulling a G2. G2 just 3-0's plot twist. And like that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
You got to mention the OTs too. We've gotten a lot of overtime experience over the first few weeks of grid. I think that has helped immensely. I think if this was week 1, I don't think we would have seen the same Alpine, especially in those overtimes. I think our defense would have panicked a lot more. We would have been all over each other, but instead we kept our distance. Even the last play in overtime, you could see Jordan gets that ball out to, I believe, Percy, who finished it. The space between the two was crazy. Nobody was too close to each other. They made sure they gave each other space to make a play and set themselves up for the pass.
Here's my question there with respects to how the team kind of improves here is with respects to overtime. I mean, is this, looking at the team, is this just the result of seeing OT after OT after OT, or is there something else at play?
I think it's the result of being an OT. You just have to be in that situation so many times to where you understand how you feel emotionally and you can deal with the pressure.
Looking at them, deal with the pressure is absolutely what we have come to expect out of Alpine. They take the first one 3-0 above Rogue in, honestly, emphatic type of ways.
Yeah.
But you guys can go ahead and take a look at how the team is played, and you guys can grab some merch as well. Exclamation point merch in the chat.
If they're
it
wearing
needs
the
no
sweatshirt,
explanation.
How can you panic in overtime if you're wearing that sweatshirt, F-Dot? You know what I'm talking about?
That's
You're
fair.
nice and warm. It's so fuzzy on the inside. I feel like you'd win OT every single time.
Yeah, real talk. It always makes me roll my eyes when people are like, "Oh no, the quality of this T-shirt." Listen, T-shirt to T-shirt, but the hoodie it actually is like, here I'll take it off you. No, okay, they told me that we have to go to break now. Game 2 on the way. We'll be right back with the grid on Alpine Esports. Welcome back, folks. Alpine Esports. That's not me. That's the channel and the team. But it's your boy F. Dot, joined here by someone's boy Turtle, and we are.
Your boy.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for you to kind of jump on in there. So I'm glad you did.
CLT won.
No, they did.
Just didn't. CLT is what I'm saying seeing in the chat right now correct. CLT have won this match. Oh my god.
Yes, they did win. 3. So game number 1 was 3-2 overtime Charlotte. And then SSG won game number 2 and game number 4. And that was it. For what it's worth, Charlotte won by a single goal every single game outside of game 4 where they got blown out. So,
oh my goodness.
I don't want to gain any enemies. But this one should be in the bag, dog.
Let's just say last week we took Charlotte to game 5. And guess who won? Your boys, Alpine. Okay, so this is actually a much more favorable matchup. Every time I go up against SSG, I don't think we've ever taken SSG to game 5. I think we might have taken 1 game off of SSG. That's it so far in the grid. If my memory is not failing me, I'm pretty sure that is what's happened. So I would say this is a better matchup for us, but still going to be a close one because Charlotte Phoenix have got to be warmed up so long as SSG were playing on point.
Yeah, it's got to be an interesting one. It's got to be an intense one for sure. Charlotte playing up against Space Station, I think, makes me say that. Realistically, I think that Alpine and Charlotte Phoenix are in the same arena, with Alpine being a step ahead.
Yeah, I think after the Rogue match, it feels better like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of like a team that can kind of like move forward and find out how they're trying to like grab hold of the future and ask those questions, and Alpine has been answering them. Charlotte hasn't really been answering them, but with the win against Space Station,
that's huge.
That's huge. That's how you answer, right?
See, now the question is, was it a fluke? Okay, I don't want to discredit the win to SSG or to Charlotte, but I think that's what we were talking about with it's not kind of just a miracle whenever you beat a team like Rogue, who I think are in our like I said, just a little bit above us. I think that's more of a closer matchup that depicts the skill. Meanwhile, Charlotte Phoenix, the question is now, we can find out with how they're playing in this next matchup. Have they ascended with their play style themselves, or was it maybe just SSG being off?
Right, and on all jokes aside, I think I think a lot of people assume that it's Space Station being a little bit off.
Yeah, that's the first thing you go to.
Yeah, like it's not even dunking on Charlotte. It's Space Station gaming. Like,
yeah,
those guys are going to win against virtually everybody. So to see this sort of upset, you kind of have to assume that things haven't been going well for the black and gold. But at the same time, Turtle, again, you've been a player. You never win 100% because the enemy team screws up.
Yeah,
right?
Well, exactly. You have to show up yourself too. Even if Space Station Gaming were super off, Charlotte Phoenix, that's not like they can just show up on the field and get a win. And the most surprising thing, even before we came live, after that I was telling you, I thought that if it did go to game 5, Space Station would for sure take it, because I could see I think honestly a 3-1 for Charlotte Phoenix is more likely because they'd catch Space Station off guard. But Space Station forced a game 5. They got a couple of wins under their belt in that series, and Charlotte still beat them, which I think gives us a little bit more fear. I would be more scared to go up against Charlotte Phoenix seeing a game 5 because they've got more experience so far this week of the grid. I think they're going to come out a little bit stronger than say a 3-1.
Yeah, I'm looking at chat real quick, and sorry, Cal was talking about how Space Station was choking, but like Phoenix were playing really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that the grid I think the grid benefits low-end teams more so than the high-end teams, because the low-end teams are the ones that need to be improving and are using
practice.
Exactly. They're getting it over and over again, and then and Space Station, everybody needs practice, but at the end of the day, I think it's a little lopsided one way or the other. So here, looking at how Charlotte was able to do so, we see comments about Space Station's accuracy. I'm really curious how Charlotte played that last one, because that is really indicative of how they're going to come into the second one, I think.
Well, that's why I'm really excited to see this matchup for Charlotte Phoenix against Alpine. Again, this is a rematch. Last week we did face off against these guys. We went to game 5. In that matchup, if I remember correctly, Charlotte Phoenix was going for a lot of demos. We had to dodge a lot of the physical plays. That's what led them to become or force to game 5, excuse me, was the demos. But it did feel like Alpine had the edge in terms of mechanics. And then today, just seeing that first game against Rogue for Alpine, the boys are looking very, very confident on the field. I think our passes in the midfield have improved. Our shooting is still top tier. And I think the number one thing is the fact that you even mentioned it so many times, F-Dot, is that we're keeping pressure against Charlotte Phoenix. And if we didn't even need that last week against them, I think if we come out with this play style that we've kind of incorporated this week that we just saw against Rogue, it'll be much easier, possibly a 3-1 for Alpine.
Exactly. That's the kind of thought process I'm embarking on is looking to stay offensively oppressive. But with Charlotte Phoenix, this is a team that I think that we can explore other options. We see the offensive prowess, but we can kind of work on other aspects of the field and just kind of keep the ball, like we said, not necessarily always on the other side of the field physically, literally, but just kind of keep it moving and practice those infield passes and get those things, because one of the things that you can take from any experience you have performing is practice, and scrims are just that. It is very different when you're on the actual competition field, and you don't get to replicate that experience anywhere else.
Yeah, and I do believe that this is our first attempt that could make it all the way to playoffs through the upper bracket. We've made playoffs one time in week 2. Every time since then, we have struggled to make it there. And when we did make it, it was through the lower bracket. So this could be our chance to pull through all the way through the uppers, get that game advantage, I believe, that we go into in playoffs, which will be huge for Alpine. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one for sure. Teams and players just getting about ready. I think we'll jump into the game in just a matter of moments. But looking at, I want to ask you to put on sort of your historian hat here and talk to me a little bit about Karma, because she's somebody that has kind of been up and down and up and down, and those are some of my favorite stories when it comes to EU. I'm really unbiased caster, absolutely, but I like to watch Greasy play. I like that story. I want to see the redemption arc. So, where's Karma fit in? How does her story unfold here?
I mean, first of all, it's not hard to be a Karma fan just because of her history. I mean, she has battled through the Rivals series, what feels like every single season. She always gets so close to tasting what it's like in the RLCS, and then she ends up falling just a little bit short, which is why this is Karma's format. I'm telling you. She just needs the experience against the top-tier teams consistently. Because when she does go up against top-tier teams with her own rival series team or up-and-coming, whatever, they will improve dramatically, but it's not like they get that type of practice every single week. With the grid, this is where things start to change. And even in chat, according to you guys, Karma has been popping off today. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing her performance. Because Dapper, he's the newcomer on the team. I don't think that Dapper, in his new play styles that changed a couple of seasons ago, is strong enough to carry a team, but it's strong enough to support a player like Karma if she decides to step up to the plate.
Yeah, that's what we've kind of gotten a chance to see. And when you look at, Rocket League, or take a look at, even traditional sports. I always go to basketball first because it's only 5 players and it's easier to kind of draw that illusion. But seeing the veteran on the squad that knows what it's like to win a game, because that's a thing that I think people underestimate, Turtle, and you certainly don't as a player yourself, is like knowing what it takes to win. Like, obviously put the ball in the net, but like the attitude, the drive, the structure of the team, having somebody that knows that world is very important.
Which Karma definitely has. I would say she is one of the most driven players right now in Rocket League. She has the motivation that any coach, any organization would love to pick up. That's why I'm saying, eventually Karma, if she keeps up this practice and this level of play, she will make it to the top. This could be the run. This could be where she decides to change everything, especially with that win against SSG. It could have been the confidence booster that she needed. But now going up against Alpine Esports, we're in the same boat. I think all 3 Alpine players and all 3 Charlotte Phoenix players, everybody's looking to prove themselves, because we, like we've said time and time again, little bit similar levels here. So that's why I'm excited for this matchup.
About to get into our game here right away, folks. Players taking the field. Again, just a reminder, we are here in round 2 on the top side after Alpine sent Rogue to losers, and Charlotte sent Space Station to losers. Let's jump into game 1 and see how this one works out against all odds. Here we are.
Yep.
Man, This is, I'll be straight up. The grid is regular old season play. This is an exciting day. I think this is real kind of crazy to see this one kind of turn up this way.
Yeah, well, the fact that one of these two teams, Charlotte Phoenix or Alpine, will make it through the uppers is great.
Okay.
Percy, right out the gates with the finish. Percy has always been in position for these shots. I think this was actually the OT winner in Game 3, was the pass from Jordan on the sidewall that bounced out into the midfield. We got Percy to finish it off, and we're just taking that same play and replicating it here against Charlotte.
Over and over again. This one was obviously, this isn't even Alpine specific. If you're able to get the quick okey-doke goal, the game changes completely. I mean, that's what it seems like from the outside, but it's almost like the game starts 1-0.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, off the post. That could have been another one. Jordan, still the accuracy not there. We do have the offense though. This is now where we start to test if we can keep the pressure up. Unfortunately, we don't. That is what was going well for us in the first series, that we could keep it in their half, and now we're not doing the best, but we do have that first goal right out the gate. That's all that matters.
A couple of people in chat were saying that Shadow was having a pretty crazy day here today.
Okay.
Which is
Shadow's nuts.
And when you look at, Karma Shadow is the pair that's coming back from last season, right? They had somebody else. I think it was Turnturo, who they had with them last year. So seeing that duo kind of stick together and keep it moving is best case scenario, obviously, if you're rooting for the squad, right? We're talking about a real synergy-based game with Rocket League.
Yeah, you need those two players. That's why Dapper is such a great pickup, because if they were trying to develop that synergy even more as Karma, she's fired up. Whoever in chat, I'm not sure who specifically was saying that she's popping off, but you are right, my good friend. She is popping off.
And one thing that I really want to highlight about that double touch is that's double taps kind of put themselves in, right? Once you get the first angle, you just kind of snap it on after the second touch. But she had to reposition to make the ball go to the right instead of the left where the defenders were. And that small, tiny action, that tiny movement, that's that nonsense. That's that poetry emotion stuff that really impresses people. I'm people. That's me. 2-1 though. Woo. This one,
poetry in motion. I like that. I like that word. That's a banger phrase. Look at the passing, dude. Alpine has never really done something like this where we use somebody on the backboard. That is a new play to our rotation, and I'm loving it.
That was I had to put the chef's kiss in chat. That one was just perfecto. That was a smooth infield pass off the wall, and that's what I said. I said I wanted to see more of that against a team like Charlotte Phoenix, because you can practice as you perform. Ooh, Percy can't get it done, but Majicbear can. This.
Bro, how many sensu beans have we eaten so far? Everybody in Alpine has eaten a sensu bean, come out here and popped off. Now Majicbear, it was Jordan and Percy with the synergy. Majicbear finds the 50, bounces it off the ground. What an approach on that shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm Googling sensu bean.
Oh my goodness. How are you not? Now I just need to make sure it shows up the right thing though. Okay.
It does.
Okay,
It does.
good.
It's from Dragon Balls.
Yes,
right?
it is. That's what I was talking about. Now we're going Kaioken 5, okay? We want to drop all of the anime references in here, okay? Percy from the corner, the pass out to the midfield. And normally we'd see Percy there go for a shot. You see how the defender, Karma, got so confused thinking he was going to go for the shot. Didn't even cover the passing lane. And that makes it that much easier for whoever there is shooting to put one on net.
Oh, man, that was... I alt-tabbed to Google, and Majicbear scores again, and there he lands the sexy jutsu.
Okay.
You like that one?
Yeah, the sexy... Oh, from Naruto? Bro, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Yo, you love it. I'm such a big fan of Boruto's dad, dude.
I can't believe that you've done this to me. After all, it's unacceptable. Okay. First of all, the way you pronounced it, first of all, just scared me. And then now I'm getting told that his name is also Burrito. I don't know what's going on. The anime references are working though, because we are exploding. SSG, who? Charlotte Phoenix, who? 5-1.
I mean, this is the Rocket League version of the Oh, wait, hold on. Soccer anime.
What are you looking up, dude?
What's the soccer anime called? Come on.
I've only seen the
So-
volleyball anime. The high
Hey,
school.
another one.
This is what I'm talking about. Every time we mention anime, somehow we find our way to a goal. We got to keep the anime references going, bro. I don't have that many, but if we can keep them going, save them for next game because we got this one set. Okay, no more. I want to hear anything.
I can bring the boomer anime. I've been told that like
That's
I only
fine.
like boomer anime, like Akira and Cowboy Bebop, Samurai
Yeah,
Champloo.
that's fantastic. I don't even. I actually haven't seen. I've seen a little bit of Cowboy Bebop. Okay, but we have to save them. Okay, 6-1. Obviously, the anime references are working. It's not the players. It's definitely us. We take full credit for this. Okay.
Oh, without a doubt. The only
Okay,
player worth any sort of shout out is Creamz. He's clearly crushing it today.
I always forget about Creamz. Somehow you managed to bring that guy and his name all the way back in. It's great. I love it. Oh, Creamz is the key now too.
Yo, Creamz, bro.
The Brazil.
Bom
we got-
dia. That means good day in not Brazilian. They don't have a language. It's Portuguese. You know what I mean.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
In Brazilian, same thing.
You speak any Portuguese?
I do not. I'm actually trying to learn Spanish though. Like I need to be fluent in Spanish. I'm not even joking. Like I have to.
Lo siento, mi amigo, pero why do you have to be fluent in Spanish?
Because okay, I got some family that might turn into my permanent family that only speaks Spanish.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, no,
I
it's
made
not.
that one up. I made that one up.
I'm just saying I gotta prepare. Okay, I gotta prepare the Spanish. We gotta
Are you
get
getting
prepared.
married?
No, I'm not getting married. I'm just saying. it
Turtle's
might
getting
happen.
married.
Oh my. Okay. No, I'm not getting married. Okay. But when I'm speaking fluent Spanish, I'll be able to cast over Alpine, popping off. Can you imagine me casting over Alpine in full Spanish? As we get
see.
the Brazil, you know, I guess it'd be more on theme if I was speaking Portuguese. But either way, we'll take it.
Pues 30 segundos remaining. I'm like halfway there. Dude, listen, I was able to walk my way through Spain. I know like enough Spanish, okay?
Enough Spanish.
I know
Just enough
enough.
to get by. Okay.
Well, I grew up in a
that's all you
Portuguese neighborhood. So like the blend of Portuguese and Spanish, if you ask anybody from either side of that coin, they'll say they're nothing alike. But there's obviously some similarities.
Some,
But
yeah.
It's a fun language and it's a fun game. Game 1 in the bank, 7-1.
Dude, wasn't even close. Are you
No, it
serious?
wasn't.
This is the Charlotte Phoenix that we were supposed to be worried about with SSG. Are you kidding me? Alpine, something else. What do we eat for breakfast? I still think it's just an entire bowl of sensu beans. That's the only thing I can understand right now, that we've actually digested only sensu beans. We're leveling up.
All those
And now we're here to take another gym badge.
legumes.
Lagoons. Wait, what are those again? Say it again.
Legumes is like it's a bean.
Yeah. But like, what is that from though? What are you referencing?
No, that's like the term, like legume is like it's what you call bean. It's like the family they're from, I guess.
Okay.
You know.
Well, the more you know, I guess. I don't know what you're referencing either. I'm so
What do you
confused. I thought you were bringing that up as like something
No,
to reference.
legume. Legume
in
is
this
a plant
7-1
of
win.
the pea family. Noun, a pod of such plant, which splits into 2 valves with the
Okay.
seeds attached to one end of the valves.
Wow.
Legumes. It's a plant in the family for what is CEAE supposed to sound like? That's not even a word. Okay.
I have no idea.
Can we go to
The only
game?
thing we need to know how to pronounce is 3-0, because that's what's going to happen with our boys on
I love
Alpine. We are killing it. The midfield presence, 100% there. Our passes, we were passing so much more than we were shooting compared to last week, and that's what's helping us keep the pressure. We get the bump on the back wall too. Almost find the shot. Percy, that's a rare instance where he misses one of those. If we can just get him back in front of the ball, I'm sure he'll make it next time. But still, as deadly as last game.
Probably not as deadly. You know, we scored last game.
Hey. We just need the opportunities, okay? Look at the passing and Majicbear the shot. I'm telling you.
Really, really good. You know, I want to shout out Shadow there with the pre-jump. Like, that was a fast shot into net. And if Shadow's not already off the ground, I think he lets it on in. So Nice play. Dribble from Karma interrupted as well. And see, this is sort of what Alpine looked like last week, where even when we had offensive opportunities, we found ourselves on the enemy side of the field, nothing really was happening. Like Charlotte, they're here, you know, we're on the orange side, but they're not really getting any opportunities. They were not really setting themselves up for any opportunities. Really, it's just kind of like, ugh.
And they don't have anybody like Jordan, who almost just got a double tap off the ceiling. The Majicbear gets the angle above the ball. Every single shot so far has been very threatening on offense. And it's nothing too basic. And we're also passing, too, as Jordan wins that 50 in the midfield. Goes off the ceiling. Like, what is he doing? And why is it working? Why is this working? Jordan, you madman.
What? Dude, this is a Tony Hawk play up and down. He sends it into the corner, knowing where it's going to bounce. He comes off the ceiling, plows it on in like it's a snow day. You love to see it, man. Oof.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, we are on fire today. This is our week. I'm telling you. If Jordan is popping off like that, we got the passes too. I didn't even know why he went for a shot like that. I thought for sure somebody on the backboard would get a save, but Jordan placed it in such a perfect spot where the bounce went right back to him.
Ooh, Karma's got a good look here. Two players going to play defense, though. You'll have to see that. Ooh, Dapper was in just the right. See, and again, like this is what Alpine looked like just a week or two ago. Like a lot of things kind of lining up, but just unable to connect the dots, so to speak.
Yeah, and when they do, I mean, even Dapper in that instance possibly could have gone for a dribble. It's all about just thinking how you can keep the pressure and not just put on a basic shot. Because if you're faced with a shot that you think they're going to save maybe 80-90% of the time, don't even go for it. Just keep it close and prioritize stealing boosts and keeping the ball in that half rather than forcing an awkward shot. Like, look at Jordan there. He doesn't go for the shot. This is what I'm talking about. Instead of just banging this into the back of the net, he keeps it close. So even if he doesn't get the goal, he will keep pressure off the 50.
He's thinking about those beans.
That's right.
Getting it, man.
Bro, let's go. What is going on? I need to talk to Miztik or a player to know what we've changed, what the training routine this week has been, because this is a completely different Alpine.
Before, you said you only need to know one thing, one phrase. Tres y cero. That's 3-0.
Wow. Bars. That's bars right there.
No, that's beans, baby. This is food. This is beans.
Bro. Even Majicbear, look at Majicbear in the midfield, that little touch around. And okay, somebody clip this. Can we get a clip? Can we get a clip? I gotta see the 1v1 skill. Majicbear, the first touch around the player. And then what is he doing? He's like freestyle dribbling. It was so clean. Oh my goodness.
That was what was that, 3 touches? 4
I'm
touches?
salivating. I am salivating over that shot.
Insanity. One more time, folks. Tres a cero.
It's the
we
sensu
can
beans,
get
bro.
the sensor beans? Sensu beans.
Sensu beans.
Sensu beans.
We haven't gone Super Saiyan yet, though. We saved that for the playoffs. I'd say we take Kaioken 2 right now.
To go Super Saiyan.
Well, Sensu beans are more or less, I don't know. They're like, they heal you, but they also bulk you up. But they don't have the power to make you go Super Saiyan, okay? So you gotta go Kaioken like 5 or something to go Super Saiyan, if I remember. So we're waiting for the playoffs, though. Oh, no. It's like Kaioken is. Dude, I can't explain this to you. This is impossible. You just have to watch it, okay? Just know that we're going Kaioken 5 in playoffs. That's all that matters.
Oh, it's about
10%. See, somebody in chat even says Alpine is only at 10% of their power. That's exactly how I feel. Just you wait.
Oh well. Oh no, Kelly would be so mad at me if I get this wrong. What's the? Oh no, Kelly. What's the thing that allows you to see somebody's power level that Vegeta wears?
Whoa. Somebody is saying in chat that it's the precursor Kaioken. But like, isn't that the setup? So if it's the precursor, then you need the Kaioken to go Super Saiyan. It's unacceptable. All right, what were you saying?
I thought you were saying Kyle Ken, like some white guy name. Like Kyle Ken. Kyle Ken.
We need Kyle to go Super Saiyan. Where's Kyle?
Where's Kyle? Kyle!
This is beautiful, bro. See, this is what I love about Alpine right now. We can talk about whatever we want because of how dominant they are. They're keeping this ball on the other side. Kyle is like 50 miles out of reach. We don't even need the boy.
Kyle's chilling. Kyle's just like, you boys got it without me. Eat some legumes and call it a day. Charlotte will try to keep the ball up in reference to rule number 1, but rule number 2 is that Alpine takes it 2-0.
Let's go. This the upper bracket run to playoffs. We are 1 game away. The only time we've made playoffs is in week 2. It was through the lower bracket. We dropped down early on. Now we're looking to take it in the upper bracket, get that 1-goal advantage. And for Alpine, if we're pulling off insane plays, I don't see how we can't win this 3rd game because Majicbear, there were so many clips. Jordan with the play off the ceiling, Majicbear, the dribble. That's 2 clips back to back. Just keep it going.
See, that's the thing that I'm looking here is how, you know, we're having fun just chilling because these scores have been so high up and these scores have not been. Listen, if you take the game 1-0 off of an accident, sure. And if you string together 2 accidents and you win the game 2-0 because of 2 accidents, sure. But all 3 of those goals seemed like you could call them an accident. But you do 3 accidents in a row, it ain't no accident no more. All of a sudden, it's a pattern, and you're getting them where you want them.
I think there was even a couple instances against Rogue where we got fortunate with their shots missing off our net, and they'd hit the post. And some people would say, you know, oh, Rogue was just a little bit off. They weren't finding the accuracy they needed to. But the fact that we were able to capitalize off of them missing those shots, turn it around, and then score ourselves is all that matters.
You're looking for. We're looking for it each time. 0-0 here. So this could be the beginning of a reverse sweep for Charlotte Phoenix.
Question is, will we need to call in Kyle? I don't think so. We got Kyle chilling on deck, but I don't think we're going to need him. We always have that safety net of calling him in case we do need him.
Just
exactly.
need the beans.
Stansu beans. That's all it is.
I think that's so wild that, like, you turn Super Saiyan from eating beans.
Well, no, it's... dude, I totally messed up the explanation. So it's not from the beans. It's like...
Get your kids to eat their vegetables, right?
The beans heal you. Yes, exactly. Okay, just understand that. You need the beans just to heal you and bulk up a little bit.
Yo, laughing's on point. You know who Kyle is? It's Creamz. Percy with a period scores again.
Woo! Look at the touch.
The clock and 1 in the goal column.
See that touch from Majicbear? You see that touch? Tell me you saw the touch from Majicbear to hit it forward for Percy. Exactly. We never do that before. It was just hit it down to the ground and somehow try to control the midfield. But instead, now we're looking for the pass where somebody is waiting on the offensive side for the clear. The first goal goes into Alpine's favor, and now we've got a second shot. Kyle isn't even in our area at this point. The man has moved.
Well, this is so we had. So far we've interviewed every single member of the Alpine squad, including the coach and Creamz, and we got a chance to talk to, I believe it was Majicbear, not last week but the week before. We asked them, you know, what exactly are you guys doing in the scrims or practice? Like, how does Miztik kind of help out? And they mentioned that, you know, there was a big focus on communication and getting these passes down a little bit more consistently, essentially. And I mean, you got the pudding, because this is the proof, baby. Like, they're just doing it.
Yeah, this is I think the result of all the weeks so far. I think we've had practice. First of all, if you remember in the first 2 weeks, it was our shooting. I think that was the biggest issue. We were just missing shots left and right. We had a couple of opportunities, and we messed up a lot there. And then now, of course, Jordan is putting them in. And the next few weeks, I thought our passing was horrible. We couldn't really seem to connect passes while we had some solo plays here and there. And then the 2 weeks after that, it seemed like we couldn't get any pressure. Now we've connected all 3 pieces: pressure, passing, and accurate shots, and this is the result.
That it really is, you know, and I remember sitting up here, you know, week number 1 and week number 2 and being like, these guys can't shoot the ball. But like, if you are rival series or above, like, you know, rest in peace rival series, but you know what I mean? If your rival series are above, you can shoot the damn ball. Like, that's not a question. So when you see that your team failing at shooting, you're like, oh, Okay, easy. Like wake up on the other side of the bed.
Exactly.
You're fine. And then, passing that's that next level. That's that next level where, like, if you are at this level, you can do it. You just have to learn how to do it with your specific team, because that is when we look at somebody like Turbo and they go from team to team, you can kind of take your play style and sort of like plug and play. But the up and comers, you have to learn how to play within each different system, and that's what Miztik is for.
Yeah, and Miztik is such a great coach because if you remember seeing the one-on-one interview that we saw with him, he was very excited to go up against a team like NRG. He thinks and perceives everything as a learning opportunity, which is the best mentality you could have as a coach, because you have a lot of room to improve. And the fact of it that we were able to play against SSG, NRG, G2, all these top tier teams, get so much information from them, watch over the VODs, learn how they play and how we can counter that style, maybe even incorporate some of their own plays into our own. And then eventually we'll get to a point where we are starting to float by ourselves. And this is I think that point where we've reached through all the practice, all the scrims now, and all the weeks throughout the grid. We did make it to playoffs in the regional event, and now it just comes down to playing more consistently on a weekly basis. We found what it takes, and then still with the saves, they haven't managed to get a goal. Charlotte Phoenix, I don't even know what's going on. I feel like they should have gotten one maybe from that exchange, but still nothing.
Oh man, Charlotte Phoenix, this is exactly what Alpine kind of looked like week number, I'm half making
I'd say week 1, 2.
4. Not week number 1, where like things were, because we found a couple of wins. It wasn't week 5. I think it was 3 or 4. Where like we beat a team that we shouldn't have, or we brought it out and we got a team that was above us, so to speak, and then just kind of faltered out in the later stages.
Yeah.
And like Charlotte just seems like Alpine from a couple of weeks ago, essentially.
Right. And I agree with that. I think that just a little bit slower, a little bit more behind on keeping up with our pace. But this is where I do get scared. I am curious if Miztik is informing them to keep with the pace, because whenever somebody gets a goal like that, there's a minute and 10 seconds left. We're still winning by 2, but now it's in the thoughts of all the Alpine players. Okay, we could potentially lose this. Let's bring it back, start playing a little bit safer, which might not be the best choice. I just want to see us keep up the aggression. I think that's something that most teams do in the final few seconds, is they kind of back off a little bit, give them more space, which is the last thing we want to do for Charlotte.
Yeah, you want to look. This is the type of gameplay that I want to see. I compare Rocket League to hockey an awful lot, but especially in this moment where like it's towards the end of the game and you've got a little bit of a lead. Like this is a lead, but it's not 7-1, right? And so you're just boom it, just clear it. Just clear it and clear it and clear it and clear it. Like you don't have to focus on really trying to get it done. Just push the ball away and like make the other team run.
And it's easy to fall into that, because this is a match to go to the playoffs through the upper bracket. Final 10 seconds left. I don't think it's possible for Charlotte Phoenix. We made it to the playoffs through the uppers. Alpine, we have hit that next level.
Oh yeah, baby. Uncontested.
Dude.
You see, I think there was Shadow on the floor about to put that in if there was 2 seconds. Oh, but there wasn't. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0.
So that's all you need to know how to pronounce. That's all you need to know in any language is 3-0.
There it is.
Life
is nice. Watch out, folks. So we're going up to the top. Man, I don't even know how the playoffs work. So we take so Alpine takes this one 3-0 above Charlotte Phoenix.
Correct.
G2 is about to sweep XSET as well. Rest in peace, XSET. And that means we go on to that's a whole separate bracket, the playoff boys.
I do believe we did make that change. Now going into playoffs, if you come from the upper, you will gain the one game advantage in the best of 7. So because we didn't qualify through the lowers, now we have a 1-0 lead against whoever we're going up against who came from the lowers, which is huge, because week 2, we did make playoffs, but we were coming from the lowers. I don't think that rule was implemented just yet, but since it has been, at least we have that one goal. We have the advantage. Yeah. We are looking so on top of our game. Our style is there, the passing, the mechanics. Jordan was popping off with goals off the ceiling, saving the flip reset. Majicbear, the 1v1 plays. Percy is finishing every single opportunity he gets placed and given to in the midfield. This is the Alpine we love, and the Alpine that we know we could see.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Charlotte and their fans for sticking around here in Alpine chat. This is a team that reminds me a lot of Alpine. Like I said, unfortunately for them, a couple of weeks ago, a lot of good raw materials. Again, I was a fan of what Karma was able to do last year with Shadow, excuse me, and interested to see what she's able to do going forward. But obviously, it's not going to work out here versus Alpine. So I invite all the Charlotte fans to kind of hang out here and watch the Alpine run, because I think, like, if I'm part of the Charlotte Phoenix organization, I'm honestly taking a lot of notes from how Miztik has been able to kind of like take these guys, and because it's kind of a misnomer where like players do everything and coach does nothing, or vice versa. It's all four people kind of coming together and pushing forward, and I think Charlotte can definitely in no disrespect intended from this, learn a lot from how Alpine has kind of changed and continued to improve week after week.
Well, not only have we improved, but we are also, I believe we're the first team to qualify for the playoffs, which is nuts because we're 6-0 on the day. That's insane. We haven't dropped one single game in any given series. We did see that crazy win for Charlotte against Space Station, and I was scared going up into this series against them. I thought maybe this would be a totally different Charlotte Phoenix because they had taken Space Station at Game 5. They come out with the win, and yet we're here to just slap them back down to the lower bracket.
Well, I think it's very realistic that we see Charlotte one more time. Or I'll be honest, I don't quite know how the seeding and the bracket is filled on the playoffs, but I think we will see Charlotte Phoenix in the playoffs. Charlotte goes up against the winner of Plot Twist and Pittsburgh, who I think are definitely within the realm of possibility for Charlotte to beat after that one. And in the playoffs, Space Station Gaming goes up against Rogue, so they've got a battle of the behemoths there for sure. And if you want my money, I'm putting it on Sean Doris's boys. I think the Black and Gold can kind of beat out Rogue this time around. Rip Spaceman. But an interesting look here going into playoffs, and what a wild ride it's been already.
Yeah, then even looking down more to Group C and D, KCP, who we did lose to last week, has dropped down to the lowers. Omelet starting to improve a little bit. Omelet's one of those teams that I think we have been expecting a lot more of. They haven't met our expectations whatsoever, even in the regional events. In the weekly grid performances, they've been doing pretty poor, so it's cool to see them back on top. NRG, like usual, in the semis, but the Peeps taking the first game. So who knows, man? Who knows what we're going to see in the playoffs? I mean, I think it's going to be the usual NRG G2 Space Station, most likely, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Can the Peeps beat Energy? That's the question. Can they beat Energy?
That's a tough one. The Peeps and Energy. I think so. The Peeps, I don't know what it is, man. It's whenever Gyro is unleashed from his chains, he just starts to pop off. Whether it's with shooting or the passing in the midfield, the dude becomes a monster.
I have liked this. Listen, let's be. I will ask you a question, actually. Okay. Do you think the Pittsburgh Knights roster improved, or whatever the polite term is for not improved, with the release of the Peeps and the pickup of Ridoko, Kinsey, and ZPS?
I would say,
because I'll put myself on the skewer here. I think they have downgraded.
I can understand that. I think it was more like putting faith in a team that still wants to taste what it's like to be at the top versus putting faith in a team that has already been at the top and they're starting to gradually fall off. So it's a question of hunger. You know what I mean? It's a question of Gyro, AJ, Illusion, if they have the determination and the grind still in them to push themselves back to the top. And with how they've been performing lately, especially when Gyro, like I said, is unleashed from his chains, they have got that hunger back. And that's why I think it was definitely a worse team to pick up. But still, you never know with the Pittsburgh Knights and ZPS. He might pop off.
I feel that. I've really enjoyed watching the Peeps on the other side of the bracket, so we don't have to deal with them just yet. But they're a fun team to watch, and they're absolutely a team you got to watch out for. People will be watching out for you if you're rocking the Alpine gear. ! Merch in chat if you want to bring it on home. You got your boy F. wearing it right on screen. I'm sure Turtle is doing something silly to the camera as well to show everybody that he's rocking it. And were you doing anything silly?
You know me so well. I just do the same thing every time. It's just this. Get some air flowing, under the shirt a little bit. It gets a little bit hot in my room.
This is fun.
Nice.
Feel that.
Yeah, that's right. That's the quality merch plug move, okay? Show off the softness of the shirt.
Show off the softness of the shirt. The players certainly aren't soft. They are in charge and ready to move on to the playoffs. We're going to be right back here as soon as we get things ready. Playoffs looming, 2-3-0s. Get yourself a drink because it's going to be nasty. Alpine Esports, back after this.
But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 hours. And it's coming down to now, and now, and now, and now, and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, 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 I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, 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 I was. And it's coming down to now, and now, and now, and now, and never. I was putting in the putting in the
You're making thoughts peering into the soft light. This unfamiliar glare blocks me out, I'm blinded. Inspired my efforts to keep you satisfied. I seem to be losing you, it's not worth the fight. So I speak up, I scream into the void. I reach for a hand to guide me through the shifting land below.
take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can hold, that's worth this waiting cold. And I want something that
Won't you come over? Dying to know where you came from. We're breaking open. Feel like your future's just begun. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world. Waiting for no one. We're headed straight up for the sun. They'll never notice. We'll take these cities on our own. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world.
You will be on my mind. You will be on my mind. Wanna forget what you feel like, what you feel like. Wanna forget what you feel like, what you feel like. Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind. 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 I've got you hanging on my words. Taste so sweet even when they hurt. You wanna feel, wanna fall in love, wanna give it all up, but you don't want to lose your control. Are we playing this game? Oh, are we playing this game? Are you too afraid, or are you giving in?
have habits just like me. Talk too much with strangers. Get way too serious around family. And I don't have any wishes, but when I kiss you, our lips fit well. And I don't have expectations, but when I daydream, I fall asleep, and our hands melt. It started out as teasing, but I had deeper meaning when I touched your chest. Now I don't know how, but if I did. And I don't have any wishes, but when I kiss you, our lips fit well. And I don't have expectations, but when I daydream, I fall asleep, and our hands melt. But if I did, and I don't have wishes, our lips fit well, and I don't have expectations, but when I daydream, I fall asleep, and our hands melt.
Yo, what's good? Hello and welcome. It is week number 5 here on the grid. It's your boy F-Dot, joined here by the one and only Turtle. Obviously, your 3 favorite players are going to be taking the field today. It's Majicbear, Jordan, and Percy. they'll be going head to head against some of the most storied players in all of Rocket League.
Oh yeah.
It's about the unification of chat. That's how you give your energy to the
right.
people. Sort of like Captain Planet, right? With your powers combined, you are Captain Alpine. Percy, getting it done.
How did that work? I thought I'm amazed. That was beautiful.
They got stepped on. But seeing them go like that, energy, big picture, is a big deal.
Oh,
How is that?
oh my god. Experience like that as a player, especially against NRG.
You're just not. That's the thing.
Style.
Oh, I dream just to be where you are, in a world I can see where you are, though you are meant to be. Wish you're here next to me, where you are.
moment to escape. Take your own. And when you're walking on the moon, walking on the moon, chase your happy place. It will change your groove when you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, ever, never been.
Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. When you're walking on the moon,
Walking on the moon.
chase your happy place. It will change your groove when you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, never been.
Into the night, city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak of wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm
Welcome back here, folks. Alpine Esports, and as you can see, we're already underway. It's your boys F. Dot and Turtle on the horn, and you can see who's on the field. It's Alpine versus Energy, and Percy's going to start us off with a bang.
See, we don't even need to see our faces anymore. We already know that F. Dot's looking cute. That's all we needed to know. And Percy is still shooting like a maniac. Like you said, F. Dot, we got NRG in the first round of playoffs. A scary task, but something that I definitely think we can beat. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Please stop going off. See, even Siri wants to get on this action because this is going to be a good series.
So if this is your first time watching the playoffs here at the Grid, we are, first of all, there, and we're going to act like we've been here before. So it's a best of 7, but we're already in game number 2, so to speak, because we have a 1-game advantage above Energy, which is kind of wild. So it's 1-0 Alpine in both the game and the big picture.
And we do have that 1-0 lead because NRG dropped down to the lowers. They lost to the Peeps. They got swept. So NRG not looking the best today. They have had rougher grid performances, that's for sure. And we have also played NRG previously. I believe it was week 5 or week 4. I can't remember.
Week 4, I'm pretty sure.
It was week 4. So we have played against NRG. We have a little bit of experience going up against them, know what it's like. We took them to game 5, I believe so. And we also won an overtime against them, but we got reverse swept, and Percy is still popping off like usual.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
The shots. We are also saving the anime references. F. Dot, are you stacked up with your ammo?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just out here percolating, dude. Oh, man. There's going to be like one old head in the chat that knows the percolator. But, dude, Percy has been on fuego. I mean, what? Give us the real, the real analysis here. What's Percy doing today? That's so, because he has been the hard carry, like, jokes aside, completely today.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that Percy necessarily has changed anything about his style or has improved in skill. I think the difference is our opportunities to set him up are increasing because we're keeping the pressure. It's not necessarily like he himself is popping off, but the whole team, the way we move through the midfield, we carry it out of the defense, get some offense going, and then we can set up our passes much more frequently to a player like Percy who can get multiple chances at net. And we know him from the previous weeks. The dude does not miss, and if he does, it's a rare sight.
Kind of sleepy offense here from Energy. Like, that's a shot, and there's a better one. All right. Okay.
Well, they woke up. Something tells us, and it's Justin still. I mean, I remember back to that first series against NRG that we played in the Grid. Our first matchup against them ever throughout the Grid was basically the same thing. Justin was dominating in the air. Also, even on the ground, he'd get some dribble goals in. And then the teammates would just come through with a nice little follow-up. So I guess the question is, do we deny Justin, or do we just focus on keeping our defense whole with rotations? Because it's hard, because once you start prioritizing stopping Justin, you kind of let Squishy and Garrett get some space to do some crazy things themselves.
I think it's about, so everything that I've ever heard from competitors tells me just keep playing your game.
Yeah.
Force the opponent to find the hole in your game. And, if Energy are able to do that, which, you kind of assume they can because it's Energy, that's when you sort of look to adjust. But we've seen Alpine 3-0 and then 3-0. 2 teams in a row, and off of specifically their play. Not taking advantage of the opponent, not kind of like oopsie-daisying. And it's been successful. The problem is, Justin will just like top 2 players and just be better than you sometimes.
It's the same thing. This is what happened in the series before, was Justin dribbling in the midfield. He goes through 2 of our players and then has a one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
See, again, that's the moment where, like, you can break down the defensive rotation and talk about it, but really that goal is scored because of the the sort of pop around, right? That midfield,
Yeah.
he pops it above the two defenders. You know, I
Keeping
don't,
it close. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I called it a nutmeg, right? Like it's not through your legs, you're a car, but it's just like a little pop over you and then in. Like the shot was cute, but it was the midfield dribble that really brought that home. And like I said, I mean, sometimes Justin's just better than you, dude. Like, what do you? There's nothing really to adjust there.
Yeah, and I think the main priority right now isn't necessarily stopping Justin. It should just be to get on offense because, again, against NRG before, I'll keep bringing it up because it's so relevant. That play style that we tried to bring to NRG was the same thing we're seeing right now where we get stuck on our own end. We'll come back and have one or two good looks like right there. We just saw Percy get one shot on net, but now we can't sustain the pressure. It's so difficult to sustain anything against NRG because their defense is that good under pressure.
Justin does a great job of staying with it, and that's when we say that like teams are able to kind of keep the pressure up, keep things on their side of the field. It's that they're just staying with the ball. They're not shooting and running away. They're kind of sticking to it. And
yeah.
Justin on the Dominus. Is this normal? Does he usually?
I prefer Justin on the Dominus. I think that he's a player who will get a primary amount of shots compared to his teammates, and the Dominus can get so much power as they're about to get this OT buzzer beater. If somebody can stop them, thankfully, we get a touch. I was getting really scared there for a second. They were dribbling that ball down into our corner, doing a good job of keeping it up. And NRG still, even after the kickoff, are on our own half, not letting us get boost. They're starving us out. They're getting midfield passes, and we have to get these last-second saves like Percy just now. The question is, how are we going to get this ball out? We're so bunched up. The pressure is mounting. We need to do something to stop them. Go for a demo. Let Majicbear on the rotation back get somebody out of the play.
It's the denial. It's the denial that you're really looking for and trying to find that time and time again. Yeah. You know, and because, again, I think it's more important for Alpine to kind of stick to their own game, especially as the less established team. Your job here is to kind of just practice as you perform.
We have brought NRG to an 11-minute overtime, which I believe, or no, we definitely did win. Or was it 9-minute? One of those two. So I mean, we're comfortable in this situation, okay? I'm not too fearful right now. I just want to see us keep that offensive pressure that we have been so consistent with the first two series. Oh, here we go. Some good looks. Justin, a little bit of a miss off the backboard, keeping it close. And yes, going for demos. There we go. We see Jordan hunting a demo down towards the goalkeeper. I think it was actually, he was going for Justin, which is such a good look. Incorporating that last little element could change everything so far in the series.
This is looking better, though. Again, Alpine finally, finally finding themselves like on the correct side of the field.
Yeah.
No, interesting to note though, it's kind of step by step, right? For the first time, good save. Alpine find themselves on NRG's side of the field, but they don't do anything with it, right? But we did get an extended period of possession, which is a nice look.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing we need to focus on more is not necessarily the fact that we came out empty-handed, but just keeping pressure and wasting some boost on the side of NRG. So that's what we talked about. The first two series, you know, one good look on offense does not equal, you know, a minute or two of possession, stealing boost, and keeping them stuck in their corner. It's so much better to play that idea of making them force a mistake rather than you have to make some kind of crazy mechanical play with Percy or maybe Majicbear leading the way.
And see, that right there was a perfect example of why NRG is such a good team. That was a mistake, right? We saw the go for the flip reset, and then they decided to go against it, and then Justin was already downfield, but they made a mistake, and they were able to boom it out. So they covered their own mistake. That's what allows NRG to, like, be so damn consistent that, like, even, like you said, sometimes you're just sitting here waiting for the team to make a mistake. They made a mistake, but NRG covered it so well that there wasn't anything Alpine could do about it.
Well, NRG have always done that. That's what's so scary whenever you're facing NRG as an underdog team is NRG are really good at always having a safety net with their rotation. They have somebody to cover for them in case that player panics. And they have always had that element to them because they don't play too aggressive or too risky. They just want to keep things level-headed, very calm, cool, and controlled. And then maybe the one risky thing is just letting Justin do what he does best and try and 1v3.
Yeah, that's the thing for sure. Is that Justin doesn't afraid of anything. He just goes out, gets it done,
Yeah. Look at him right now. He's got the whole 3 players to go against, and he's still going forward.
I don't know Justin at all. I've never spoken a word to the guy, but I get this. I just have this in my head where I heard the comms when he scores the goal, and like he's just chilling.
Yeah.
Just always.
Nice. Good job.
Yep. Sick.
Got it. No problem.
Like, and that's so reflective of being, one of the best.
Yeah.
Just being so, cool, calm, collected is cliche for a reason, right? You just, all right, man, I got it. Like, just command over everything.
Did you see
No
that
one
pass
was there
now
in the
from
middle.
Jordan? Did you see that pass for Jordan? That could have been the end, but we don't have a striker now waiting as much as we do. Normally it's Percy, but maybe we're pushing that offensive line back just a tiny bit.
I'm gonna say 5 minutes. Percy ends this.
Okay. We're putting in guesses already. 6:23. Majicbear. Big dub.
Okay, all right, we'll see.
We always get long overtimes against NRG. What is it, F? I don't understand what we do to create this tense overtime that I don't like handling, because this makes me nervous.
I actually love it, and I think it's a really good. I think it's a very good barometer of who Alpine is as a team. Being able to.
Bro. I lost all my breath.
I'm a
Back-to-back crossbars.
Yeah, dude, I'm a hair behind Turtle, and you can obviously tell because I was like, "Oh, what's he? Oh, that's what he." But I was going on about how like seeing Alpine always bring energy and Space Station. Remember last time to these extended overtimes is very fitting. Alpine is. I keep saying this. They're an in-betweener team. They're not as great yet as the top of the crop, but I do think that they're better than most of the other up-and-coming teams.
Yeah.
And seeing these, it's freaking energy, right? Like this is energy. They are established, to say the least. Beating them is tough, but we can absolutely take them out to task here.
Yeah.
We are
I think
playing this game alongside.
the most difficult thing is just as this series progresses, if we can keep the stamina going, because that's what happened before. We got reverse swept by them. We were doing so good in the first 2 games, but once we let NRG get any momentum, that's almost when the series is lost. As Justin could do a double tap here off the backboard. What a clear from Percy. That's what we need to see. Huge defensive statements like that from Percy, where he just denies Justin from doing those mechanical flips.
Well, stamina is definitely going to come into play here. Best of 7 again in the playoffs, 1 game advantage. So we're here in game number 2. So I mean, I guess we got to figure out how the other casters. This is our first time in playoff land on the grid. How the other casters? Is this game 2 or is this game 1?
Are you talking about how we're approaching this or what?
Yeah, like what do we call this? Do we call this game 2?
I would say this is game 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, dude, I keep losing my breath every time I see this ball go off the crossbar. Before we saw it back to back, and then now it just keeps getting closer and closer for NRG. If they get warmed up on shooting, that's when it gets scary. But I would consider this to be the second game, just because NRG are coming from lowers. Alpine definitely have got some confidence knowing that they had that first game win.
It's just easier to kind of call it the second game because there's already one in the bucket,
Game 2 plays.
Man. This is kind of wild. I'm chilling. I'm just watching at this point, man.
You're chilling after the crossbar hits, and that one is gonna sink in. Justin, dude, he's had so many chances to finish a shot. Garrett G, that was huge from him in the corner. If you saw Garrett G go for that solo dribble to get it out and relieve the pressure to set up Justin, that is a NRG play, a classic NRG play that they have down to routine.
Really well done there. And I think NRG scored the only way they were going to score, which was from like the midfield, from like a very far away spot. Alpine clearly has kind of handled that defensive end. And the reason NRG was able to score was because nobody was anywhere near the net. And I think that really NRG kind of realized that and were able to capitalize on that specifically. So I mean, now we're tied at 1. you know, and we've got a long series ahead of us, best of 7 again. Welcome back, Alpine Esports. But with that in mind, you know, how do you shift? Because you said coming into game number, the first one of the series, whatever number you want to call it, with that game advantage, Alpine might feel a little bit more comfortable, might feel
Yep.
you know, relaxed. Now that it's all even, how does that, you know, work out?
I think that first game definitely was a little bit of a safety net for us to lose here coming out against NRG. Now we're all tied up. So for Alpine, I think it's a boost to our mentality. You know, the first game was a little bit of a feeler. It's not that big of a deal because we already had that 1 game advantage. So now we come into game 2. This is where you might start to see some nerves affect us either positively or negatively, because it felt like we were a little bit comfortable in the last game. Not going to lie. We weren't trying to extend our offense too much. Weren't trying to be too aggressive. Sometimes the pass would come out of the midfield and nobody would be there for the shot. I'm thinking that this is where we're going to start to make a change, either for the best or the worst. And Jordan makes sure it's for the best. We finally have somebody receiving that midfield pass, and it's off of a good win in midfield.
Every time. And I think this is imperative for Alpine to kind of stay competitive in this matchup, is to score these opening goals. I think it just makes the team feel comfortable. I think it makes the squad feel just a lot better and allows them to, again, not you don't want to relax, you don't want to rest on your laurels, but put you in the right mindset. Because even when they score that quick one, when the enemy is able to kind of respond, we still do see like the kind of just a different posture, so to speak.
Oh, dude, how close are we gonna get with these crossbar hits every single time? I don't know if it's fortunate or if we have the defense that's just managing to force this one out. And then Justin, okay, he cleans it up. There it is. I was waiting for it.
Look at this though. You know, when I said this before, like if you're gonna play half court and just like pepper our goal, Alpine can handle that. Doesn't matter if you're energy or nobody's, like we can handle that. But both goals, all the goals that we've seen here have come from half court or you know, far, because our players aren't able to get back on the field. So it's just like a curious look here, seeing how energy are able to kind of keep pressure up, and Alpine can handle it. But when the ball gets loose, and again, I mentioned this early on in the season, when Alpine kind of lose control, they lose all control.
Yeah, well, I mean, both those goals too recently have stemmed from NRG's corner, which makes me think, that our midfield presence is very weak. Even the first goal that NRG got with Justin, he faked out 2 players, and now the shot from the midfield, we need to get in front of them in the midfield. A lot of times you think that defense is all about just challenging on the defensive end in your goal and making that stop. But whenever NRG is on fire and making attempts on net from the midfield that are working, that is a very rough sign.
I mean, that goal, that non-goal that we saw was just a missed shot. Like that was a goal. If I think
had it gone in,
yeah, exactly. Justin was just a little bit to the right. You know, you know, thank the squishy. That is the first goal for Energy today that like comes. No, it doesn't even come off the half court.
No. And look at how scary it is to Percy. Percy didn't even want to challenge that. He didn't even see Squishy coming in because he thought he had time. Again, being slow in the midfield, slow to get the challenge.
This is again, I like to look at this from the perspective of sort of like a coach's analyst, and you know, I'm glad to have somebody like you next to me who can kind of like identify. I was like, listen, you know, we're getting these half court defenses, but the big midfield here, and I couldn't really put the point, the you know, the thumb on the point, but there you go. You bring it in. It's midfield presence just lacking here.
Yep.
And then this one is kind of the same thing. Cross court pass, just
exactly.
Field.
Exactly what I was about to say, because that pass, you saw how much hang time it had as it traveled across the field. Ideally, from Alpine, you can make a great play out of that instance from NRG if you can intercept that pass where he just booms it all the way across. Try to play man coverage, and then that can make the difference. You intercept the pass, boom, you've got offensive pressure, potentially a counterattack.
This is one of the again though. This is it's kind of really nice, as you know, Miztik always wants to see all W's, but we talked about good losses and bad losses a couple of weeks ago. And if you just get blown out every game because you suck, I mean, you can't learn anything from that, right? Like, it's no fun to go up as a bubble team against G2 and just lose over and over and over and over again. There's a very clear pattern as to why Energy is beating us here.
And it's so frustrating.
It's frustrating.
I mean, even that play you're looking at, you see all three of them getting involved. And put yourself in the Alpine shoes on defense. You see Justin go off the ceiling. You're like, what is happening? I'll try to intercept that. You get the block. But then, of course, I think it was Gary G is crashing the net to go for a demo. So well executed. Somebody always having a play. Even Squishy now is hunting down our goalkeeper, trying to make a play. All cars are in the same radius. I don't even know what I'm watching.
Well, this is the moment that Alpine can handle, which is insane because it seems to me, the uninitiated, the harder thing to handle. When Energy has three of the best players in the world standing in front of your goal, just shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting, Alpine can whack them all with the best. But when Garrett G sends it from left field and Squishy just, that's the one that Alpine can't handle, I mean, that's insane to me.
Well, it just speaks to how important that midfield presence is. If you aren't in the midfield and you're giving them space and they are making use of it, because I think a common strategy right now is what Alpine is doing is they're waiting back on the defensive end, saying, okay, we'll give them some space, maybe they'll hit it to us, and then we can mount our counterattack off of that. But NRG, they are too smart for that. They're going to find a player every single time in the midfield, whether it's that pass across, whether it's finding Justin to go for a solo play, something other than just giving away possession. And that is why it's not working. We expect Energy to hit it to us, and nothing's going our way. We need to push up. That's the only option.
That looked like a good opportunity for Alpine, but they just couldn't finish it. Squishy tries to hit it with the reverse slam, but it won't happen. Well, 30 seconds left. I mean, this one is all but done. Garrett G is going to confirm it.
Dude, I just read in the chat, we need anime references. Have you been stocking up on the anime references, okay? That is what worked for us in the first two series, okay? I mentioned the Sensu beans. You mentioned Boruto, okay? What is the next reference? Hit me with it, F dot, I'm ready.
Sexy Jutsu. That's the only thing I know about Boruto.
That's the only thing you know, is the sexy jutsu.
Well, no, also, Sasuke is like the emo guy? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. Now I'm trying to think of a reference. Okay, look. We are going to unleash the nine-tailed fox on our defense, okay? This is the only way we can prevail. That's the reference. That's what's gonna change it. Coming in to technically, we'll be coming into game. Well, it'll be game number 4 of the best of 7, or can I not count right? No, yes, game number 4, because this is game 3. So that's what's gonna change the tides. Is the nine-tailed fox? That's all we need.
Counting the turtle.
Look, counting might be difficult for me. It's confusing because of the one game that they got an advantage. Okay.
I'll give that to you. It is absolutely a little confusing if you are turtle, I guess. But looking at Alpine and how all of the issues are in the midfield here. I mean, that's talking about good losses and bad losses. We have an identifiable sort of like pockmark. We've got to fill it. So straight up, Coach Turtle, how do we fill it?
I'm coming in here and I'm saying we need to be more confident. We're seeing plays from Justin, Squishy, Gary G that are just styling on us. And it's plays like that deplete your confidence like crazy. If NRG is out here making really good passing plays, you don't really get too frustrated. You don't start thinking, oh, we're way worse. But once they start hitting flip resets, they're going for crazy stuff. If you see Justin coming from the ceiling all the way down, how are you not going to get frustrated knowing that you're letting him do that? You're giving him the space to be crazy. What is that? So you need to be aggressive, start to try and predict some of these passes and get in front of them. I don't know if we can necessarily outpace them, but we can definitely outpredict them if we see that pass coming.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is that, like, can we outpace them? We've seen Alpine, like I said, deal with the nonsense on the side of when Energy's like in our base killing our dudes, they're not actually scoring. we're able to kind of flick out every single shot. So if you put Alpine to task, ask them to be defensive, and then try to make that happen, Alpine's like totally fine. So it seems sacrilege to say a team like Alpine can keep up, quote unquote, with energy.
Yeah,
But they're doing that. They are doing that, right? Like,
correct. It does feel like we at least are in position. I'm even thinking back to the play. It just comes down to our decision making sometimes too, because I'm thinking back to that goal. If you remember, the ball bounced off the backboard and Percy's following up, but he doesn't expect anybody from NRG to come there and be in his face and smack the ball away. And then Percy ended up just giving him the ball, giving him the free shot, didn't even make contact on it. So it's plays like that, small little instances where you need to be more confident, but also more aggressive. Go for the ball right away. You need to be snappy with your decisions and understand that you're not just going to give the ball away straight with your first touch. And Justin does a great job of that. In the midfield, you'll see Justin keep it close. He makes the decision super fast, but he also keeps the ball right there next to his car to go in for a 50 if he messes up.
that's really what I've seen, is that the foresight of energy, and that I don't want to say it all comes from the what's it called? I don't want to say it all comes from experience, where you
Right.
get the chance to but that has a lot to do with why energy is good at landing these sort of like midfield goals, because they've seen these routes over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Consistency is really
Well, and I'm guessing they're getting so good, which obviously they are. You can even tell right here at playing underdog teams. I think Garrett G especially has been a player who constantly has proven himself against teams. Like, I've never known Garrett G to be on a roster that drops games to a lower level team. It's just for whatever reason that it just never happens to him. Yes, he gets nervous. I even asked him in a couple interviews, how do you manage the stress? You never seem to drop games against lower level teams. And he says, I'm always nervous. And I think that it's the nerves of the fact that they might lose that makes them play so well, because they never come in with a confident mentality that they're better than the other team. They just play how they think they should.
That's wild to me. Which, I mean, play how they think they should. That's sort of what I was talking about. But, like, Alpine are a team that has to change soon.
Yeah.
I understand not coming into energy thinking that you're the better team, but you can't come into this match thinking that you can't beat them. Not because it's the wrong mentality or that's not how you do. Simply put, they can. And Majicbear.
They will. They will, baby. And this is what I'm talking about with the midfield pass. Look at this. Percy out to Majicbear. In the previous games, he never would have been there and been aggressive, and we probably wouldn't have gone for the pass. This is the best step in the right direction to beating NRG, is holding the midfield and making sure you're being dominant with those passes.
This is why I like watching Alpine Esports, because one of the things that frustrates me when I start learning a game is I start to understand, I see the issues on a team, and then they make the same mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Alpine make a ton of mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're better than the best, but every time they come out and make a mistake, I always give credit to Miztik, but I'm sure it's a team-wide thing. They identify the mistake and they don't make that mistake next week.
Yeah.
And what I think separates great teams from good teams is the latency between mistake making and mistake fixing. And
Yeah.
see, the first 3 games happen. Nice goal from Squishy. And identifying midfield lack of midfield presence being the issue, and then coming in here and scoring in game 4 off of your own midfield presence.
Yeah.
That's what's exciting about an up-and-coming team.
I think that's what makes Alpine one of my favorite, if not the best team to watch right now in the grid in terms of improvement, because a lot of teams like, NRG, we'll see them be consistent. SSG, the mistakes aren't necessarily as obvious, but for Alpine, as an up-and-coming team, we'll come out here and we'll have a lot of mistakes that are very apparent, but we fix them week after week. I was even talking about it earlier. The first 2 weeks, there were shooting issues. The next few weeks, we couldn't really get any passing going. And then after that, it was all about maintaining pressure. Every single time we come out and we fix our mistakes, which leaves, little room for improvement, because we're constantly working on things, which is great. And that's what will translate to the middle of a series. If we can fix mistakes week to week, surely after we hone down that skill of, like you said, repairing and fixing those mistakes, in the middle of a series, we should be able to adjust.
Yeah, that's the big key, and it's so front and center in other games, whether it's fighting games or MOBAs, right? When Team A beats Team B because of, character selection, it's so more obvious to identify and fix. When it comes to Rocket League, it's a lot more how you say, like, malleable, right? It's just not that static. You've got to identify this in this like poetic game, what's going wrong, and I think that's just as difficult as fixing the identification of what's happening, especially a team like Energy.
Knowing your mistakes and your issues is nearly impossible a lot of times. Even as an RLCS analyst, it's how do you ever even determine sometimes what a mistake is, because there are so many other things too behind the scenes, like communication things, like mentality wise, that could be affecting a lot of people's performance. So just trying to break it down based off positioning can be difficult, but there's a whole nother side, and that's the mental game as we look to go into overtime, which is alone in itself a very mentally draining process. We did go to overtime. I believe it was the first, or technically the second game against these guys. So we definitely know how to handle the pressure and get there. Just need to have more midfield passes. This could be a great look, but again, Percy pops it up. Nobody's there waiting for him.
On the wrong side of the field. Energy could totally finish this one off.
Oh no. Oh no, Justin, don't do it, please. We're good. We're good. We're good. No sweat.
So I've said I'm chilling an awful lot today. I wasn't chilling.
I don't think I've ever been chilling against NRG right now, dude. Are you kidding me? Why do we get so many overtimes against NRG? What is it? It's like these guys have all the pressure. Our defense holds on, and then we get tested even more in OT. Look at that squishy denied by Percy. Justin, it's almost like it's a ticking time bomb for when Justin will have some crazy solo play.
Craziness. Still ticking up, though. And again, we find ourselves on Energy's half of the court, which is a good thing. That's what we want to see a little bit more of.
Woo!
Less of this.
I'm getting so scared.
Look at how Alpine handle the popcorn. No problem whatsoever. Extra butter, please.
But the question is, what do we do after? So we handle it on defense. How do we move forward? We got to recover after we panic.
Yeah, I agree. It's I've been very excited about the defense, but the transition offense.
That could be it. Dude, that whiff just took my soul out of my body. As soon as we missed in the midfield, that could have been a chance to put one on net. My soul has left my body. I'm done. Oh, it's okay. Okay, I guess we're not waiting for Justin. I don't even have words for this. The plays that NRG make are insane. This shot from Garrett G. If that went in, it would have been one of the best shots we've probably seen in the whole grid so far, just because of how difficult that angle is. I'm frustrated. NRG are making me mad, because sometimes it's like, what do we even do against a play that's just so mechanical you can't do anything?
I mean, Garrett G just destroyed the party there. Like, the terminology of that bug, the party has been destroyed. Like, damn, calm down, Rocket League. Why you gotta be so devastating? Ooh, Garrett G, Season 8 World Champion, Squishy Muffins, Season 6 World Champion. Like, okay. Like, sometimes that happens, right? Like, every once in a while, Babe Ruth is just going to score a home run. Like, every once in a while, Kobe's going to jump over you. That's just how it goes.
Right.
Garrett G, just going to do it.
I'm trying to, think right now what we could implement that would change things. But right now, at this given moment, it seems more mechanical than it was. Maybe at the beginning, I would say we didn't have a lot of midfield presence. We have connected a couple passes in the midfield, but now we're just getting out mechanicked. I mean, the shot from Garrett G was nuts. We saw earlier the goal with Justin in the corner, carrying it all the way across where nobody expected him to get another double touch, It's like, at what point do you start predicting that they're going to go for these crazy plays, but then they could easily mind game you and just go back and forth, man?
The thing for me here, the honest thing for me here is this game, we did see an improvement, a slight improvement, and not enough of an improvement to take it home. But the idea that these guys, Alpine that is, they scored off of midfield presence. They denied some of those transition goals. That is really that's the positive. And whether you fully take the game home or, you know, like I said, when you're playing up against, and this is not something that you say when you're on the team, you don't say this as a coach to the team going in, maybe after the fact, but even then I kind of question it. If I'm coaching this team, you, in your brain, like I said, you don't say it to the squad, but you go, all right, dude, just lose and give me something to work with. Like, if you get swept in 3 games because you're just getting dunked on, that doesn't help anybody. But here, lose. They're losing due to midfield presence. They come back a little bit to identify that midfield. Like, that's what you ask for out of an up and coming team versus one of the best in the entire world. So, you know, 1 game away from walking home here today. If Energy take this last one, which a lot of Rocket League to be played. I'm not writing us off just yet, Turtle. You know, this is
Right.
that you go home and you're like, all right, you know, step by step, baby.
Yeah, I know we can match the creativity, and it's going to be difficult to match the passes too. Look at this, and it starts in their defensive end. Garrett G out to Squishy, who finds Justin, which you've been mentioning it the whole series. It starts in the defensive end, and since we don't have too much midfield presence, NRG are ready to form their attack, the flying V on offense, and absolutely dunk on them.
It's also just, I mean, if I could, you know, be a fan, that's just pretty, dude. Like, it's just pretty to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you get the back guy clears it out into a 2-man one-timer. Like, that's Rocket League, not 101, but what you assume it would be if Rocket League was an easier game. Like, it's impressive to watch, and it's why NRG are such a respectable team for sure.
Well, and they always do this against teams that aren't somebody like SSG. You know, Alpine might not be in the same league, and I think that's what gives NRG confidence to be super well organized. I don't think we've seen NRG double commit maybe like once or twice, which almost always happens, but they're so organized on defense that whenever they decide to counterattack, everybody's in position and has a boost. And I actually saw somebody in chat talk about just ball chasing. I honestly, at this point, I would say I would totally give my players the right to just say, let's ball chase. Let's just try to give them less time on the ball. And I think that could be a fix, because while we have been organized on defense, we've been finding a couple passes here and there. I would honestly love to see more aggression and more time just 50-50ing the ball.
Alpine does well, you know, Alpine does well when they're playing against, you mentioned the confidence thing, which is such a hard intangible to really like assess. But Alpine just aren't playing the same way that they kind of were playing against some of their other opponents, and I think that's something that once the players grow up, and I don't necessarily mean like age-wise, I mean experience points from playing professional level rocket, right? Like once you ding to the next level, and that's why I love the format. You're getting so much practice with RLCS regionals, or it's the grid here. You're playing against big level teams, small level teams. Like that's the stuff. And this is how Alpine kind of like makes the climb.
Well, it's all about perspective and knowing that you belong here. We interviewed Percy last week. We'll also get another interview here, so make sure you stick around until the end of playoffs, because we're going to beat NRG. I'm not saying stick around after this matchup, because I believe in the reverse sweep, okay? But Percy said last week, or the week we played NRG, I believe, that whenever they were going up against NRG, they had a lot of nerves to play confident, because it's a bunch of their idols. These guys, Percy, Majicbear, Jordan, they've been looking up to players like Justin, Squishy, Garrett G, and they're some of the reason why they wanted to go into the competitive scene in the first place. So to be on the same playing field, you got to be nervous.
And that's such a cool, if we could be humans for a moment. Oh, nice. Just barely saved there. Majicbear goes up the ladder, but no one there to dunk it in. Like, that is, you know, that's just, if we can just be human, that's just so cool to me. Like, being able to, you hear those stories all the time. Again, going back to basketball, because that's a sport I know well. Of these guys talk about like their first time, like, you know, Kobe guarded them. Or them or something, like, you know, trying to guard LeBron James as like a 19-year-old freshman. That's what we're seeing here with, like, you know, 15, 16-year-old Percy and everybody watching world champion Squishy Muffins. And all right, go steal that dude's boost. Like,
you get nervous. You're like, am I really 1v1ing this guy right now on the field? What's happening?
I grew up watching Justin's stream. Now I got to demo him. Like, that's a weird feeling, bro. Like, and it's really cool to see. And I hope that the players kind of, like, you know, grow up, so to speak. Again, not
the buzzer beater though.
experience-wise.
But the buzzer beater, do you believe? 3 seconds left. Please keep this ball up. We can do this. No, we can't.
Believe it.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not sad or crying after you are. Dude, the anime references, bro. Where were the sensu beans? Dude, we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough. I actually feel kind of responsible for this L. I will blame F Dot. I will fully here formally blame F Dot and say the responsibility is on his shoulders. I'll just like to put it out there.
It's a terrible day for Rain, but we do lose versus the energy. It is what it is.
Well, okay, you did have the anime like glasses push up though, so I
like that one?
did. I appreciate that. That was subtle, but nice. Yeah, that was. I'm happy. That could be in an anime, real life adaptation. So I would definitely hire you, F Dot. But I would not hire NRG to go up against us again, unless we want practice and more exploitations of our mistakes.
Again, you know, we talked about it a lot there. The midfield presence just wasn't available for Alpine. Definitely something that can go home and work on. But again, you know, and here I think the better analogy. So I don't continuously go to sports. It's like you know, school. You take a math test and you bomb. You get a 12, right? Well, good luck, dude. But you take a math test and you wind up with like an 85 because you fail every every quadratic equation question. You're like, oh, I just got to remember that, you know, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root, et cetera, et cetera. Like, one thing to work on, right? Yeah. One thing to work on here. Fix the midfield presence, offense and defense. And obviously there's a lot more that goes into it, but like you have something to take to the tutor. Yeah. And that's Miztik.
This is where Miztik puts on his anime glasses, becomes the detective, figures out where there are issues where it could have been something like communication as well. Just not a confidence performance. The one game that we got was just from being the team that qualified from the uppers. And you know you're frustrated if you're Alpine. But at the end of the day, it is NRG. They look clean. They look like they're going to take possibly the whole tournament with the level of play we saw from Justin. And then Garrett G, that one shot. I had my faith and confidence in these boys to go all the way.
It's exciting. It definitely is exciting watching these guys continue to improve. We make it to playoffs without going down to lowers. That is a first time here. Yeah. And so step by step, my friends, we're going to go gather some stuff in the back. We've got an interview coming your way. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. Alpine Esports back after this.
Just some more whiskey. I can't seem to understand how you do this to me. You've been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead. Saw you in the red dress. I can't seem to understand how you got all that finesse. Still been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead.
She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make up, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you.
What up, Alpine Combine? It's two Santas and a turtle. What's good, friends? F.
Wow.
Turtle and Majicbear, the one and only. How you feeling, Majicbear?
The energy didn't really go as planned. Yeah, but we got some good replays to go over for sure.
Definitely. Well, I think that's the best answer we could hope for, was just knowing that you guys got some replays to go over, and I know Miztik's going to be all over that. But first of all, the Santa hats, I didn't even get invited to the party. That's not really fair. I don't have a Santa hat. I don't know how you guys have Santa hats on deck when we're not really that close to Christmas either. It doesn't make any sense.
Gotta be prepared.
This doesn't make sense.
You just got to be prepared, man. You know, as a winner, as a champion, you know, you're always ready for anything anybody puts in front of you. Somebody says, get a Santa hat, you got to be able to do it. I'm sorry, Turtle. You're just not a winner.
How dare you?
That's why you're
Magic. You know what? The reason why I'm a caster is because I'm horrible at playing, okay? But Majicbear is not. Majicbear is a beast. And you guys did play against NRG in week number 5 last week. What was the difference? You brought them to game 5 last week. What was the difference here?
I think like after the week 5 and against them, like we went over replays and like we saw some issues that we could fix and stuff, but and we try to implement them like this week. But you know, sometimes like in the mode, like I don't know how to explain it, but like when we're like in, we can't really like remember all the things that we have to like fix and stuff. So
I feel that for sure. I was talking about how many different variables, like, you know, I was talking about with a fighting game or a MOBA, right? If they keep picking the one guy and you just ban it, dude, right? Just fix that. In Rocket League, it's so much more amorphous. There's so many different things that you kind of got to worry about here. Overall, though, no losses, 3-0 to the top side of playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like this was? Do you guys feel like you played better this week or last week?
Definitely this week. Like, you could probably like see the huge improvement that we've been trying to like fix and stuff. But I'm really like excited for this weekend. See what we can do.
I gotta know, what was like the main focus, because it is such a dramatic difference from last week to this week. You guys are closing out games. You go up 2-0 in a series, and you're able to get the full 3-0. You know, last week you might have dropped 2 and then win the game 5. What was the difference this week, and what did you guys focus on to get to this point?
When we're 2-0, it's like it's really nervous. Like especially me, I get really nervous. And this week, Miztik just like kept saying like, okay, we're 2-0, just don't throw. So yeah, that's some good advice. Good advice.
That's the best advice you can get right there. Don't throw, man.
Sometimes that's all you need. You know, this is the team I was talking about how last week, you know, you guys mentioned that when you're playing up against teams like Energy, you know, these are guys that you've watched as a fan, and now you have to come out and like, you got to go demo Justin, the guy whose stream you watched all day. Like that's an insane kind of feeling. But it seems like, and you know, outside looking in, of course, it seems like week after week, you guys are getting a little bit used to being on the same field as these big dogs.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we took a little break after the first regional, and me personally, I took a huge break. Like, I just practiced like in scrims or whatever. But like I had just started school, and I really needed to find a schedule, and I think I did find a good schedule that I could keep, and it's been helping.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's the best whenever you can figure out the right amount of hours to put in. And I gotta ask you, do you remember the soloed play dribble that you had where you were like holding power slide and like backflipping into the corner all the time, and then you ended up getting the goal? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
What was your like goal? Is that what you meant to happen, or were you just flipping at the ball?
I meant like the first touch that I got. I meant it to be a pinch towards like the middle, but it just happened to go to the corner, so I just followed it, and then yeah.
Dude, that play was that was one of my favorite plays I think I've ever seen out of all three of you guys.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard when that happened.
You guys seem more like cohesive recently, both this week, last week. It's very clear that you guys kind of like take the issue, work on it, come home, and each mistake finds its way to like getting better. But holistically, it seems like your communication and the squad just feels more together. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think our voice, like our comms chemistry, is getting better, definitely. Because like sometimes when we're all out of boost and stuff, like that one time in NRG, like recently, right now, like there was like a full like minute where we were just in our half and we were just like just clear, because we all have 0, so we couldn't like really do anything. It's just clear.
Is that a moment like whenever you're getting starved out? Do you see communication start to slip up whenever you're getting starved on boost and everything? Is that when communication breaks, or what moments are the worst for you guys?
Yeah, I think like when the ball's on like the goal line, that's when like our comms get super crazy. Like everyone just like starts screaming and stuff.
Well, that's kind of wild to me because that's why, sometimes we just say things, but I actually had something behind this one, talking about you guys looking more together and the communication there, because when you're up against a team like Energy and your goal is just getting pop, 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 you guys still seem like able to deal with that. You're getting scored on like midfield stuff, but when Energy's like in it, just punching you in the face, you guys are like, all right, no problem, we'll just deal. And like that seemed really indicative that you guys are kind of more gelling.
Yeah. There's still stuff we just need to work on against them. But hopefully next time when we face them, we'll actually give a tight series.
Well, my final question is, do you wear the Santa hat while you're playing? That's what I need to know.
I don't know, but maybe I should.
Okay, there we go.
Well, if you wear the Santa hat while playing, I will wear the Santa hat while casting, and we'll have a winter wonderland for sure. It's September, so it's soon to be in season.
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as Santa Claus for Halloween.
Nah, you gotta wait till after Thanksgiving, dude. You guys gotta calm down.
That actually sounds hilarious. Santa Claus for Halloween. I'm here. I'm all the way here for it. I want to see it. But that does it for us here on the grid. Any last thoughts before we go, Majicbear?
None.
Sweet. Turtle, it's been a pleasure. Majicbear, you're always better than Turtle, so thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Being the man. We'll spare Turtle. He doesn't have to get beat in a 1v1.
I know. I can actually go off the stream now feeling confident.
I do, on a serious note, want to seriously shout out, you guys in the squad. It's a pleasure watching you guys, but more importantly, seeing you guys improve every single week. We can't.
Yeah.
We're not saying it. It actually happens. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Miztik, and of course the hard carry Creamz. You guys really put in the work and get it done. That's it for us this week on the grid. We'll be back with week number 7 next week. Alpine Esports continuing to climb. Make sure you grab your merch, ! Merch in the chat. But until next week, we will see you. We bid you adieu. Peace and much love to you.
Long nights can get me feeling lonely. Hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep